typing. All right, here we are. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Generic Fantasy Setting number 17735. I'm your Dungeon Master, Kelly, and tonight I am joined by my four fantabulous players. Hello, players. Hold on, you're not getting any sound.
Oh, no. Not
there
again.
You go. So, hello, fantabulous players.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
And yes, as Christine was just saying silently, this is very Charlie's Angels. I'm down. Hello, blog in the chat, and everybody else in the chat. Good to see you tonight. So, welcome to Generic Fantasy Setting. Let me introduce my players. I have Mars. Hello, Mars, played by Winter.
Hi, yep, that's me.
All right, you're slightly off center, by the way.
Oh. Is it better if I go this way? Or
yeah,
you have me in reverse?
No, you're perfect. You're perfect
Okay.
right there.
Cool.
So, hi, Mike.
Hey, I'm Mike. I am playing Xeno Rightwing. He is a half-elf ranger in the group.
Hello, Christine.
Not last.
Or
This
first.
is the first in like weeks.
I tried. I was making a Z this time.
Okay. Well, I just got used to being last because I've been called last for like the last.
I don't like to play favorites.
But you often end up as first, so first or last. No in between.
If
That's
you
true.
ain't first, you're
Did I
last.
end up first?
It's like Judi Dench in a role. She usually gets first
I don't think
dibs
I've
or
been
final
first in a
dibs.
long time.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure you
Anyways,
have.
I'm Christine, and I'm playing Malia Sunsworn, the Dwarven Tempest Cleric of Vale.
All
Yeah, I got
right.
it out all in one go.
Can you move your mic a tiny bit closer? You're a little quiet, but otherwise good.
Okay, my mic was
Oh, that's
closer
perfect,
than
right.
it has been before, so.
Then the way you're speaking right now is perfect. All right. And finally, hello, Amy.
Hello, I am Amy, and I am playing Dia Armstrong, the half-orc druid.
All right. So that's all of our hellos. Let's say goodbye real quick because this is the first game where you can hear me move and not hear the sound of horrible squeaking.
Yay!
Because I finally got my chair. I'm not sponsored, but I wish that
No.
Secret Lab would. These are really good chairs.
I told you! You're like, should I buy one? I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, you probably should.
This
Aren't
is
they
like
really
I am-
expensive?
they're like $600 Canadian. So
Nice.
like, but
I am pretty tempted to get one.
Yeah.
like I'm gonna loan this to you tomorrow while I'm doing some of my pre-game stuff, so we can trade chairs for a bit. But yeah, no, it's really nice, and it doesn't squeak, which is my favorite. Oh, also it goes all the
It
way up my
reclines.
back.
Yeah.
I don't actually like reclining things.
Hello.
I feel that just is not giving my abs enough work.
Oh, no,
It
I mean, like, if
also
I'm...
has the Batman logo on it.
Oh
That's
yeah,
also
and
true.
it does have
It is the bat chair.
Can't
the
see
bat
it
chair.
from this
It's
angle, I
so
don't think.
big compared to
Also,
the like the.
bat shirt and bat chair!
Oh yeah. I did this for a reason. I really want to run a superhero game, but I know that it would get super over dramatic. No, and awkward. So,
Oh.
give it like 4 months. All right. So before we begin, I also wanted to say that this weekend, if you have any time, we are doing the Extra Life Tabletop Appreciation Weekend on August 22nd and 23rd. 22nd, 23rd? 23rd and 24th.
22nd and 23rd.
Third.
Is it? Oh,
You were
crap,
right the
yeah.
first
Today
time.
is the 19th. There's still
Oh,
Thursday,
wow.
tomorrow, and Friday. And Saturday is the 26th.
22nd and 23rd, and during that time, Extra Life has been a long tradition with this channel. We actually did our first streams of anything on Twitch through Extra Life 3 years ago,
Mhm.
and that's when we decided to move to Twitch as a streaming model. We absolutely love Extra Life, and we love raising money for kids. It's all tax deductible. These donations go and help the BC Children's Hospital, which right now in the middle of the pandemic probably needs a lot more money than they did even last year. So if you have any money at all, don't even bother going to our page. If you don't want to, just give something to someone. If you're watching on Twitch right now, you can scroll down. There is a button on our About page that says like donate to Extra Life or something like that. That will go to our page. We don't get any money out of this. We got like some dice and a t-shirt, but like what?
No, we get t-shirts.
I noticed that the under the stream page has been cleaned up and looks beautiful.
Oh,
It
thank
does,
you. Yeah,
actually.
that's what I did
Wow.
yesterday.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love it.
It was a little big before, but I fixed it.
I needed some help, but now it's
It was-
fantastic.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Good
I
job.
built all that. That was good.
Mm.
So you can also donate directly to the stream if you want to give us some money, but give it to the kids first. We're fine for now. Although if you want to support us on Patreon, boom, I will not say no. be sure to tune in regardless whether or not you have money. Share that we're running these games. We're running 6 games over 2 days. Dungeons and Dragons, Hunter the Vigil, Changeling the Lost, Powered by the Apocalypse, both Dungeon World and Legend of the Elements, which is basically Avatar, is going to be running. And it's not just going to be me for a change. I'll actually be playing. So you get to see me in dumb face paint, pretending that I'm like a bear or a badger or something. And then later an orc, or earlier an orc.
Bear Kelly.
Bear Kelly. My character is named Bjorn Ironsides. I'm not sure if this is the voice I'm using, but I'm working on it. Perhaps I should just sound like Hannibal.
I'm
Anyway.
gonna be a deer.
You're already a deer.
Oh dear.
Yeah. I don't know what the name is gonna be. I'm toying with like
Fauna.
alliterative names, so like Daisy and shit like that.
Aw.
Fauna.
Daisy, the druid deer.
Which game
Daisy-
is that one for?
For Dungeon World Mammal Edition.
Oh, so that's the Sunday.
Yeah, that's the Sunday. I think you're
Yeah.
at work, right?
Yeah, I'm working at that point.
Yeah.
Ugh.
All right, so with that, that's all my preamble, guys. I really hope that you have a chance to at least watch us and maybe share us around to any of your friends that have money for charity. At the very
Tell
least,
everyone.
yeah, tell everybody,
Yeah.
share it around. And with that, why don't we go ahead and I will update you on the things that have happened since the pre-roll. Oh, one last thing on Extra Life. If you were watching this on YouTube, Extra Life actually runs year-long. So if you go to extralife.org, extra/life.org, /team/dorktales, we are collecting money throughout the entire year. So even though YouTube gets this video, you'll be getting this in early September, I believe, by the release schedule. Go through a
You
couple
have
bucks on it
until
there.
December 31st at midnight
At
to
midnight?
keep donating.
Yeah,
So-
Mhm.
Anyway, so here's what has happened since the pre-roll. Since the characters managed to make it to the Tower of Edagon the Wise, they have since traveled across the ocean in search of one of the Eyes of Nirn. They went to the distant desert continent of Apesh and managed to make their way into the bowels of an ancient tomb of a god king named Okanan. This isn't on the test later, I promise. Inside of this tomb, they not only found the eye, but also confronted an ancient and powerful sphinx, who they were able to return to its home plane of existence. They were also able to use the Eye of Nirn to power an arcane engine that was meant to re-terraform the landscape of Apesh. However, of course, by removing a magical item from an ancient ruin, they caused it to collapse Indiana Jones style. And venturing nothing or nothing ventured, they leapt into an unstable arcane gate that their dragon sorceress Pharaoh was holding open with Tia Armstrong's help, and found themselves transported into the Feywild. After a bit of traveling around in the Feywild, they encountered 2 strange beings that may or may not be gods of the local pantheon, and finally made it to the gates of an ancient elven city called Islanor. And outside of Islanor, they were confronted by some strange figures that turned out to be dog-human fey-ish hybrids called Kaneen that they had encountered before during the Dog Run Bridge saga. And inside of this city, they were approached by a stunningly beautiful, dark-haired elven woman who was, in fact, Lady Marine, the elven wizard who had been the primary arcanist, there we go, of their party's previous iteration some 500 years ago. And with that, we are going to jump right into this. Be sure to take out your notebooks, guys, because this is going to be a slightly plot-heavy episode. Amy, I just got your text about the mosquito in your room, and I'm very sorry.
Yeah, so if I suddenly like twitch majorly and like do a very violent motion, it could be in an attempt to commit a murder on mosquitoes.
That's okay.
So,
we
that's fair.
we
It's a
Twitch
warning.
regularly.
I figured.
All right. And if you turn on Twitch right now, by the way, as you are standing there before the gates of Islanor, Lady Marine approaches. She's quite tall, approaching just a few inches shy of 6 feet tall, long, slender limbs, and an elegant, beautiful mane of raven hair descends from her crown. She's wearing a blue robe with a bright, furry snowy mantle around it, and a tight bodysuit underneath that's made of some type of incandescent transparent mesh. She smiles at you, and you can see that there is a dusting of starlight freckles along her nose and cheeks. Well, this is quite a surprise. I hadn't expected to see any of my party members here, even if it was a new generation.
Yeah, we get around.
Apparently.
We didn't exactly plan to end up here, but
I see.
Thanks,
I
Atagon.
mean,
I just realized that she had a very posh British accent, so I'm going to lean back into that real quick. Please, come inside. You can tell me the rest of the story.
Sounds good to me.
well, we sure can try.
With that, if you follow, she will lead you inside of the walls of Islanor. Now, the walls of Islanor are multi-tiered. They're pure stone with very little sense of carving at all. There are no angles, more that these are jutting marble monoliths that rise out of the ground encased in vines. Many of the vines grow serrated, blade-like thorns as long as your fingers. Natural defenses grown over. The walls themselves are about 30 feet tall. And as she leads you inside immense gates, you will all feel a shiver run across your flesh as you pass through a magical barrier. Pardon that?
That was weird.
It keeps the hunt out.
That's good.
Awesome.
That seems like a good thing, from what we've heard.
Did you have a confrontation with the Wild Hunt?
Close.
No, but
Almost.
It's unfortunate, but that's the reason why elves tend to avoid the Feywild, unless they have certain protections. Islanor should be safe, by and large. The inside of the gates have been fortified.
Neat.
That's a relief.
So long as you do not stray beyond their bonds, it should be no problem at all.
Okay.
So what do you do here?
Research.
Oh, okay.
Always research. She'll smile and guide you ever inward. And as she does so, you'll get a sense of this city, which was once beautiful. But since all of the buildings here look like they've been built into massive trees. The ones on the ground are similar to the walls, made of marble, but everything is built with the nature around it in mind. Although most of the trees here have exploded with growth, they no longer have that pure beauty that you can see kind of in the shadow of what they once were. The trees inside of here stand a good 300 to 500 feet tall.
Oh, that's a big tree.
Basically, like most of the trees that are inside of here are load-bearing trees. You can see that there are bridges and walkways made of branches that have been woven together.
Pretty.
Have any of you ever seen that meme of the chair that guy made out of a tree? This is a real thing. Like, he grew a tree into, like, a canopy chair.
And it took something like 5 years or more to do.
Also, hello to Blue Mimic in the chat.
Hello.
Maybe if I saw it, I might recognize it.
You should Google it sometime.
Oh, that.
And Blue Mimic, just real quick, I heard that you are working with a good friend of the streams on some really cool dice. If you want to post anything in the chat, feel free.
Dice?
Yeah, well, I'll let them talk about it. Not sponsored. Could be sponsored. All right. As you're led inside, Lady Marine takes you through the central causeway to what looks like a church. It's a small marble domed structure. small in comparison to the trees, perhaps, but it's still a good 150 feet across at its radius. A large dome. And as you enter, you will see that there is significant damage to this structure. In front, you see that it's just a huge dome, like a bowl that's been turned upside down. Once upon a time, there was a 50-foot wide skylight above that let in the stars, moonlight, and sun as they passed overhead onto a worship circle at the center, where there is a fountain collapsed in a heap into a pool of still, mossy water. However, on the other side of this circle, the opposite that you enter, you can see that a 60-foot tall gash has been exploded open into this bowl, as if someone hurled a giant rock through it. About, overall, an eighth of this structure has collapsed on itself in the distance from this blow.
Crazy.
However, around the center, where there is that mossy water, there is a very comfortable camp, as well as a incredibly gaudy tent, draped with all manner of silks and all manner of tapestries. The tent itself is as large as Mars. It's twice the size of the house you lived in growing up.
Oh, shit.
And she leads you inside, and the inside of this tent is actually about 4 times the size of its outside. You are in a luxurious, carpeted... speaking of which, as you enter, she's going to slip off her slippers and look down at your feet and kind of dart her eyes over at an ornate gilded shoe rack near the door.
Huh?
Okay.
What?
Alia will look very odd, but she will take off her armored shoes.
Now, can I get a just a perception test while you're going through this building? I just kind of want to look at what you're looking at.
22.
Yeah, if ever
God.
Tia sees everyone else doing this, she will figure out what's happening, because you don't do that when you're raised by mercenaries.
Zeno is used to that kind of thing because he was raised in a castle.
Because he's a rich boy.
He's a rich boy, so he's like, oh, okay, that's normal.
I got a
Perception
12,
music?
Kelly.
12? All right.
27.
3.
20. Okay, so most of you got above 20, and
Yeah.
Farah is traveling with you as well, and Farah got a 9. Okay. Farah's just kind of looking around, kind of like, what is going
Freeze!
on here? Mars, as you're looking around, you're going to notice that there are quite a few shapes hidden around the outskirts of this dome. You're being watched by people. And I'm just going to move Marine up to my frame real quick so that we can still advertise Extra Life. There we go. And boop.
Have we seen... Are the other Canines still around?
Some of them stayed at the front, but they're now with you and all of your successes. The rest of you are going to be able to see that there are... One moment while I roll for Canine. You're going to see actually 10 of them.
Ooh.
Moving around, kind of doing various chores. As you're moving through the city, you would have seen quite a few of them prowling around the bridges up above, gathering water in the distance. But as you enter, all of you are going to smell a succulent, roasted aroma. And that is the point where you are going to see that in the second room of this tent, after you take off your shoes and walk through a gossamer veil that separates the rooms, there is... Which one of you is the cook? It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is... there is a huge, about almost 6.5 foot tall canine who, with jet black fur of a Belgian sheepdog, who is wearing a hairnet.
Good.
And
Keep the ears back.
keeping the ears back, yeah, and who is squatted next to a large fire pit in the center of this lounge room. He turns and looks over his shoulder as you all enter with Lady Marine and bows, rather dignified. Lady Marine, you have guests. I shall fetch wine. That would be excellent. Thank you. Thank you, Connell. Connell bows and backs away to go acquire some wine for each of you. And you can see that there is a shank of lamb roasting on, well, maybe elk. It's hard to say. Whatever it is, it smells like a gamey meat, and it is richly spiced. However, the shank that you're looking at is about 6 times larger than the shank of any animal that you've ever eaten, to my knowledge.
Big tasty.
They do grow big here.
Hmm.
Surrounding the fire pit are a tremendous number of pillows and cushions, and with a less dignified flump than you probably might have expected, Lady Marine is going to walk over to a well-laid patch of pillows and cushions, next to which are dozens and dozens of tomes and scrolls kind of haphazardly perched on each other, and is going to just floomph down into the pillows.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Please, relax.
Of course. Yeah. Thank you. And Tia will go and sit down. Awkwardly.
Xena will go sit down, not awkwardly at all.
Malia will sit down, and if it's just as like soft, she's just gonna like disappear into it probably.
Mars will just kind of like look down at her like bare feet, be like, "This is all really weird," and then kind of try to sit on a pillow.
The pillow is very cushy, and the carpeting inside of this tent is enough that you can actually pull at it with your toes if you squeeze. It's very dense and rich.
Very plush.
And so she just goes her toes.
It helps you be less stressed.
Yeah, Mars is for some reason feeling a little stressed.
Wonder why.
Yeah.
It's probably fine.
Everything is fine.
So what brings you here?
That's a really good question, actually. I guess the short answer would be Edagon.
We also jumped through a portal in a collapsing temple.
That's part of the long answer.
And what does Eddie want to do with you?
Well, Eddie sent us to a Pesh to go get an Eye of Nern.
Because someone's trying to apparently get them and unleash her.
And what he failed to mention was when we got the Eye of Nern, it also made the temple collapse.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like, oh, hey, there's a portal. We're here. There's a temple coming down on top of us, and it's preferable to not be crushed. So we ran through the portal. And then we ended up in the Feywild.
Yep. That's pretty much it, yeah.
And then we asked some, sprites for some help.
Mm-hmm.
And they told us to come here.
We are attempting to get back to,
You're trying to get back to
Edagon.
Elos.
Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. Hoping to happen, anyways.
Do you have any way to do that?
Well, they told us to come talk to you. They said that you would have a way back.
Yes.
I mean, I could probably send 2 of them back via banishment. I would just have to be able to hold it for the full minute.
I would be happy to. I can easily do a spell of plane shifting, but I don't have it prepared at the moment. It would take me until tomorrow morning.
That
No problem.
should be fine, I think.
Until then, you're welcome to be a guest here. I just ask that, I know how adventurers are. Anything in the city is fair game, minus the tomes and research materials.
Don't steal anything from in here.
If you wouldn't mind.
Okay. I'm sure that we can accommodate that.
Mars.
Gotcha.
And so, your names again. At this point, Connell will return with some very, very, very smooth, kind of like a Sauvignon Blanc, white wine. Very delicate elven grapes. Begin handing it out to each of you.
I'll sniff it.
Oh,
Smells
But I
strong.
think- Yeah, I think for like the most part, Mars has never seen a white wine.
you might have. She might have seen white wine like on the cruise.
Maybe she thought it was champagne or something.
That's very possible. Xena will grab a glass and start drinking it.
Yeah, it's a sipping wine. It's not a chugging wine.
Yeah.
It's got all sorts of complicated notes in it that I can't even begin to come up with.
Malia will sip at it, but kind of.
Tell
Yeah.
me like it's not beer.
There's no
Exactly.
body to it. Like, it's got all sorts of complicated notes. It's like, I'm so,
But she will
like,
be polite.
you know what? I want you to make me a persuasion roll. No, you know what? I want you to make me a charisma check to not
Shit.
accidentally say something under your breath or something, because this is the difference, right? Like, dwarven drink is like a WWE match. It's like a joust, right? And this is like a
Funnily
chess
enough-
game.
Cleric saving proficiencies
Is
is charisma.
Charisma.
oh, but I didn't
Which
say
helps.
it's not a
save. I said a
Oh,
charisma
shit.
check.
Oh.
So you're trying to get me that negative too.
I am.
Thank you.
Is it a
Did
one?
you roll a one?
Yay!
All right.
I mean,
So
oh no.
which option are you gonna do with this? Are you gonna do the spit or are you gonna do the cough?
Cough.
Okay, so
Sorry.
What? It's delicious.
Connell, do we have any beer still? Any of the cask? Yes, my lady, we have a little bit of the. Bring that out. Connell will vanish into the back real quick and give you a bit of a side eye, which is just like this mound of brown and just huge white out of the corner of his eye.
Malia was kind of like, oh, sorry.
And he will come back a moment later and just hand you a green bottle.
Thank you.
It's got some strange writing on it that you don't quite recognize. It actually kind of looks a little bit like Dwarven letters at a time. That looks like the Dwarven letter for H that it starts with, but you can't quite make out what the rest of it is. It's a strange script from another land.
I will try it.
It's a bottle of Heineken.
I literally was about to double check if that's what it was. God damn it.
So it
the
tastes
most
like,
Piss
It-
poor beer out there.
you know what? It's not the wine.
That's true. Though, I think I've made enough money at this point, and I've never sold them. I'm gonna go digging through the bag of holding and pull out that cask of Iron Blood Ale.
Okay, you're gonna break open the Iron Blood Ale.
Yes. I will share it with them.
And Tia's gonna get right in on that, and she's been very much trying to politely not show that this is not her jam.
If
And I mean, it's
If-
a cask, so
yeah, if Tia and Malia are both like super not into the wine, I'm gonna just be like, do you mind if I have that?
Yeah,
Not at
no,
all.
here.
And pours it into his glass.
Farrah's gonna keep drinking it, and she's just gonna take like huge mouth swigs of it.
Oh no.
No, Farah.
Full-bodied.
That sounded like mouthwash.
It did.
That sounded like she might have a constitution check coming up at some point.
Racy.
Oh, nat 20.
Good job.
Racy.
She's her liver has her levels her liver has leveled up with her. Oh, speaking of which,
Oh.
here. I forgot to grab her new sheet.
Ooh.
Which I'm not gonna drink a ton or anything, so
Just enough to be social.
just a mug or two. So it means I'll leave the rest of the cask for them to have. So I will share it.
Is that? It smells familiar. What is that?
Oh, Iron Blood Ale. I was very fortunate to find a cask along our way.
It's an excellent brew, as far as I remember. I'm not much of a beer drinker myself, but some of my friends were.
Well, I am happy to share it with any who are here.
So, Edagon sent you because someone is trying to steal the power of the Dark Goddess.
Or-
Yes, that's about it.
Well,
Basically. Maybe?
yes.
Or awaken
Potentially.
her? Or something.
Something to do with her.
Essentially, somebody tricked into stealing the first gem, but it broke into tons of shards, and we've been collecting the shards, and then we found out they were trying to steal this one. And they
There's a whole
attacked
thing with
Edagon
the
when we got
cultists.
there, and he sent us to go get this one so that we could combine all three or something so that he could then like do whatever he
reseal
needs to
them, I
do
don't
to reseal it all. I don't understand it. It's magic shit.
So someone tricked you, and she points with her eyebrows down at you, Mars. That does explain your complexion.
Yeah.
It quite lovely, but if you wouldn't mind, tell me the story.
That might take a while.
Well, it all started in a very quiet little town called Mog. And there was an adventuring party that came in, and then she'll go.
Tell the whole story about how you got tricked by
Yeah.
Wanderlust. And, all right. Are
And
you?
how our paths have still like crossed over from there too.
Are you mentioning like basically like the entire story so far?
As much as it makes sense to get to this point, including some of the weird things that she had happen to her separately, like the kind of like illusions and the dream states.
Oh, you're
I'll
actually
mention-
admitting that.
Oh, so this is the first time we're hearing this too.
We're like,
Yeah.
wait, what?
Wait, when did that happen?
Marine has a very motherly like aura, okay? I feel like I can't lie to her.
Mars?
What, and you lie to us on a regular basis?
You never asked.
That's a good
We
point,
didn't know
actually.
we had to.
Oh, always ask.
To be honest though, it did feel very much like a dream too. And the next thing I would know, I would be awake and be moving. So it's kind of hard to tell what has really been real and not. I don't mention the dragon thing though.
The dragon thing?
The eating the bone marrow.
Oh, that's fair. Do you mention the town of Pitmarin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably. Because
'Cause it
if
was-
you don't, we
It was
might
on
chime
our
in.
way. Yeah, it was along the way to find Edagon.
And because we discovered things about her connection to that and the relevance, so it's all tied together.
And like
So-
meeting the Kaneen there and helping in the
Alright, yeah.
war.
You found the
Oh,
other
we met them
puppies.
later.
And as she says that, she comes alive a little more like a schoolgirl. Her body language suddenly changing, her legs splaying, and her elbows locking to her knees as she leans forward. You found them.
Yeah.
They were looking for you.
I was looking for them. We were separated a few days ago.
Oh,
They
Well,
were
I
out
mean,
on
it's-
Days?
much longer than days for them.
And us. Yeah, no, it's...
It's been
been-
months.
It's been
Months.
months.
Mhm.
What was the pit bull's name
Puppies.
again?
the
Nadia.
pitbull- Nadia.
Nadia.
Yeah,
Nadia.
I mentioned puppies.
Nadia had puppies. They're very sweet.
Hmm.
Oh, and
One of them was
What was the evil one's name?
Should I?
I imagine this might be news to her, so.
Yeah, they were his puppies.
Yeah, he was very determined to get them back, but then there's whole
Like,
thing with the demon.
500
or...
Knoll army, like demon-driven Knoll army, dedicated.
Well,
Yeah.
He wasn't very nice.
They can't all be good dogs.
Most were.
Most people aren't, yeah.
That's
Well,
true.
I'm glad that they're safe. You said that you were sending them back toward Pitmarin.
Well, that's where they were headed.
So we just gave them directions. We weren't sure if they knew that there was a way to get across there or something.
So, Pitt started his own town.
Or something, yeah.
How is he?
Complicated.
Human, so...
Also, time seems to work differently here.
I mean, how long have you been here?
That's complicated.
Exactly.
I've been doing my research inside of Islanor for 9 years.
It's been a lot longer than 9 years in Elos.
Inside of Islanor. Traveling the Feywild, traveling from Elven City to Elven City, looking for what I'm searching for a few decades.
Yeah, hasn't it been like 200 years?
Something like that.
Yeah, it's been a couple centuries.
I'm very sorry.
Was it a nice town?
Yeah.
Once we dealt with the flooding.
I mean, that was that was being caused.
Yeah. But
we found statues of you.
Always a bit of a... Oh, really?
Yeah.
How did it hold up?
As well as you can with stone, but pretty good.
And I'm pretty sure that one was in the flooded area.
Yeah, it
Pitt
was.
always thought himself something of a Mr. Fix-It. He never was good with plumbing. We had an apartment in Madaket for some time that the silly thing was always flooding. I'm sorry. And you are cleric of Vale.
Yes.
And you are a right wing.
Yes.
From Avakara.
Yes.
And a druid who's also... She takes a nice look at your ears to you. Splash of elf.
Yeah. Grandfather.
How old are you, if you don't mind me asking? Your skincare routine is flawless.
36.
Absolutely, you look like you should be in your 20s. Little splash of elven blood does make that a little easier, but you do a good job of exfoliating, don't you?
Nothing I actively try to do.
Just natural. Creams and masks all the time.
Does
for
the
myself.
blood of my enemies count?
Actually, depending on the enemies, yes.
Huh.
I mean, that sandstorm was very exfoliating.
Imagine so.
Yeah, that was not fun. I don't like that.
That probably took a few years worth of layer off.
I think it gave me a few years of stress.
One of the great things about me is I don't really live with stress.
No, you just exist to create it.
Yeah, I mean, kinda.
It's probably for the best being what you are.
Yeah.
A delicate flower.
I was going to say a gloomstalker. You don't see too many of those outside of the royal lines.
Didn't know that. Interesting.
If I'm not mistaken, I could tell by the way that you walk. It's an
Yeah.
ancient order. Actually comes from here.
Really?
Hmm.
Well, that's interesting.
The Sulatai Dorsha.
Bless you?
It's ancient Eladrian for the Stalker of Shadows or the Dark Stalker. It's what the Gloomstalkers came from.
Oh.
Oh, very interesting.
The shadows are a bit darker here. And it's quite an ancient fighting style.
Yeah, it suits me. I like it.
Hmm. Have you gone through any of your trials yet?
Trials?
Does he know?
Do you?
Yes.
I would imagine not, seeing as I don't know.
Vestigial. The discipline has somehow, I guess, degraded into a vestigial. Losing some of its innate abilities. Should you have some time and are willing to risk it, I would suggest heading down the main lane. There is a cavern. No, more of an underground passage. It's an old facility, more like a training hall.
Hmm.
You might find what you're looking for there, but I'd recommend you go alone. And be careful, the ghosts of the past still walk the halls.
This one of those trials?
It's where members of your order would go and submit themselves to be judged.
So what are you supposed to do?
I wouldn't know. I'm a wizard.
That's fair.
I had my nose in books.
Probably one of those things that they don't write down either, so nobody can be warned going in.
That's probably true. Yeah, most of my family's dealt with shadowy stuff, so it was only made sense for me to do that too.
So, Mars, how do you feel? Given that the goddess of darkness is attuned to you, and that she has made you the woman that I see today. How does it feel?
It's definitely really strange. Like, I could never imagine this sort of life from living in Mog.
Do you want to go back?
Not really.
Hmm.
I've learned a lot of really cool stuff about the world leaving that city, so...
The world is bigger and broader than you'll ever know, even if you live 100 lifetimes.
Right.
And once you get tired of those, once you get tired of that world, there's another one just around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm here, actually.
Plus, it's like, if I try to even go back, I'm pretty sure I'll just get run out again. So...
Getting run out of somewhere that doesn't welcome you isn't the worst thing.
True.
I'm sorry, Tia, did I speak over you?
No, I was just... Humans are weird.
All
Yeah.
races are weird. My lady, dinner is served. And with that, Connell is going to cut all of you a nice slab of what actually turns out to be some type of elk when you taste it. It's rather spiced with very pungent herbs, and while it smells nice, it's very gamey and a bit rare. Yes, Tia.
So the thing so soft that we encountered last time was in the form of a deer, right?
Yes.
With too many eyes? Okay.
Yes.
This might be a little unnerving when she knows this is like an elf.
Mm-hmm.
So
You
many
will
others.
notice Tia looking a little uncomfortable eating food. Normally she would be all over this.
Since we've had a lot of our food and water kind of like hijacked in that dungeon, I'm eating.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah,
little
those
rare, a little more rare than you'd like.
Mhm.
It definitely is going to be very much to Xeno's tastes. It's the way that elves like to eat their food. It's going to lean a little more on your elven roots, of course. For the human side of things, so Mars, your taste buds, you could like it a little more burnt, but you know what? Meat's meat, and just throw some salt on it. Tia, I'm not sure your taste, but orcs are pretty fine eating things that are fairly raw.
Yeah, she's pretty okay with it.
Um,
Either super burnt to a crisp or barely cooked at all is her mother's cooking style. So she's used to it.
However, Malia, I think again this might be a little against your taste. Dwarves like things that are a little more.
Cooked?
Yeah,
I just figured it's basically it's meat, and dwarves are probably. See, I would have thought dwarves would do the full gamut of types of meat, like ways of cooking meat.
Definitely. I feel that dwarves have a little more of like a British sensibility, like British Scottish in terms of meat, like beef Wellington type of stuff. Like they like it to be cooked to a medium.
Beef
I could see
Wellington's
that.
generally fairly rare.
It's like medium
It doesn't
rare.
get cooked all the way through.
This is pretty rare. Like this has been touched by flame, but the meat's so dense that it's got a very gamey flavor, and you're not sure how close to falling apart this meat is, as in like how close to decay, how long it's been aged. Elves have a very strange diet when it comes to meat.
Well, I'm hungry, and it shouldn't kill me because it's not killing anybody else yet.
It should.
And worse comes to worse, I'm a cleric with healing spells.
That's true.
Yeah, this is probably actually more like the things that Tia's dad would make because, yay, half elf.
So
Mhm.
if if Malia as a dwarf is kind of like, don't love this, a good swig of ale and then a big bite of meat probably.
Yeah,
works.
that's generally. And
Yeah.
he will also serve up a number of little side dishes, which are kind of like small nugget potatoes that have kind of been stewed and don't have much consistency left in the broth that's been bled off of this animal. And it's been cooked in that white wine. So it's a very kind of like bright hunter stew type of thing. And
That
yes,
actually
Malia-
sounds fantastic.
Malia will just look
This is making
forward
me
to the next
so
time we get
hungry.
back to an inn
I'm sorry.
and can have cheesy potatoes and roast. But she's not going to turn her nose up at food.
As you're eating, Malia and Xeno, you are both going to feel a slight vibration through the ground.
Oh, really?
More of a boom. Boom. And as you're looking down, Xeno, you're going to see your wine glass gets a ripple.
What's that?
What's what?
Mm,
The next boom, she'll go that.
There's the city is overrun with various creatures, one of which is quite an enlarged basilisk. Mars, can you do me a favor and make me a wisdom roll?
A save or just add wisdom to a roll?
Make me a wisdom save. We'll say save.
6.
Your stomach is going to go flip-floppy,
Even though I've eaten human before?
even though you've eaten human. However, it's the proximity to a shard that's doing it to you.
Do you want me to be like,
No, you're basically going to get the shardy feeling, so the cramps.
oh, ow. Shard.
Huh.
And I'll just say that through the shard.
Well, that can't be a coincidence.
Definitely not.
Let's go
The
kill
one-
a basilisk.
Have we ever encountered basilisks before?
Yes, we do. They can
Right,
turn
it's
you
been
to
a while.
stone.
Yes,
You
that's
fought one when you were helping Farah, or when you were meeting Farah for the first time.
right. That was a while ago.
Right, and that was mainly so tricky because there was a bunch of kobolds as well, wasn't it? Before I got my hammer.
Weren't those the Durgar?
That
But there
when
was
you
also
fought the-
kobolds in that.
Yep.
I
Mine
don't
as well.
Kobolds
remember that.
and
Wow.
Durgar, and it was a 3-way fight.
Yeah.
Totally forgot about the kobolds. It's been a while. Wow.
They were the ones that almost killed us.
Yes, that's right.
They were the evil little things.
How big are we talking here? Farah says, looking at her meat, kind of poking it.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Large. I would say, and she will describe a huge basilisk, huge monstrosity. So huge, let's see, it's large, and then biggin, and then huge would be basically the size of a couple of school buses. Not as big as a dragon, but
Big.
well, big as a small
So-
dragon.
For an example, my ankylosaurus form is 3 squares by 3 squares for a huge beast.
Yeah, so about the size of 2 school buses parked next to each other.
Yeah. So
So it a big one.
very, very large. Big, 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 big.
And we can't guarantee that our spells will work.
Hmm.
Yeah. Basically.
Well, actually, you should be able to. Arcane magic here functions a bit differently than normal. However, your spells, should they function, should function normally.
Okay.
Arcane magic functions on a fluctuation here. It's why I'm been slowed with my efforts. Most of my spells draw from the innate primal magics of this world.
What do I know about basilisks?
You can make me. It's a monstrosity, so this is going to be an intelligence roll straight up.
May I also make this roll?
Yes, you can.
19.
All of you can, because you have encountered them before, and Farah can because she's read about them. Farah got a nat 20 again. What the hell?
So
18.
That was
Basically,
doing a good
I'm trying to
night.
think of like resistances.
6.
6?
Tia doesn't remember anything about this.
Would they been in any sort of like tales or myths from?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Basilisk. There are some legendary myths about it.
Okay. Could there be a role I could do pertaining to like more of that stuff?
You can make. Yeah, go ahead. Make me a history roll.
Basilisks are the one that can turn you to stone, right?
Yes.
21.
21. So with that, you'll remember there was a story of an ancient hero named Kaeland who fought a basilisk in order to rescue his lady love, who unfortunately had been turned to stone, but when the basilisk was killed, its blood turned her back into human form, and they were married and had hundreds of babies, and he ruled over Argeny for a generation.
Okay, cool. I'll
Um,
just kind of spurt that out and be like, hey, there's this story. Does that make sense to what you guys know?
Well, I mean, they turn people to stone if you look at them in the eye.
In the eye. But like you
Yeah.
can see it and it doesn't turn you to stone.
It has to look at you.
Gaze. Okay.
Yeah, gaze.
It also has to be, with all of your rolls getting above 20, you have to be within a certain distance of it. So it's, for normal basilisk, this thing is quite large. Basilisk. Normal, it would be about 30 feet.
Okay.
Who knows what this thing would be, but it might have additional powers. With your rolls, you can basically take a look at anything from the from the monster manual regarding basilisks. However, who got above a 20? You did? Okay. So the Kaeland faced a normal-sized basilisk, and that was pretty scary. However, between you and Farah chatting for a moment, you can kind of parse out that a giant basilisk would probably have some additional immunities. You know that it's immune to poison right off the bat because of its slightly draconic heritage. It probably also, thanks to the Shard of Nirn, has resistance to non-magical weapons and probably necrotic energies. Whether or not it's resistant or immune is something else. But as you're going over these stories, Mars, you are going to remember one cute story of actually how Kaeland managed to defeat the basilisk. He brought a rooster. Basilisks are these strange hybrid creatures, part snake and part rooster. And they
So did it just fall in love with the rooster?
no, they follow the pecking order of any nearby roost. So when a rooster crows, they leave the area because they're violating another rooster's territory.
Yeah.
Was it
And
be like,
he
is
used
this gonna be some sort of really weird like mating ritual thing that to go down?
Not this session.
I think Tia's probably, with my 6, Tia probably remembers something about that, the story being told
You're
by
like-
raunchy mercenaries.
You're
Being
like,
like-
you remember the story of a guy named Ozzel who told you, "Hey, yeah, I remember the story of Kaeland. Kaeland, the man whose cock slayed the basilisk. He whipped out his cock and the basilisk fled in fear. And then he struck him from behind, plunging his shaft all the way in." At
That
least that's-
sounds like an orcish way to tell that story.
That's how. Well, I'm a dwarf. Anyway, so that's how you heard the story.
Yeah, Tia's like, wait, what?
Stabbed him to death with a cock. There you go. And that's why Kaeland is known as the Cock Knight. My notes are going to be really weird tonight, guys,
The cock knight.
Oh,
because he's the
boy.
Rooster Knight, obviously.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
God damn, that was amazing.
All right.
Well,
So
what do we want to do about it?
Well, we can't leave that shard around.
Mm-mm.
No.
Gotta get it.
Gotta go get it.
Gotta get.
Gotta go fast.
No, gotta kill it.
Get killing.
Mm.
Get busy living or get busy killing.
All right. Xeno's gonna get up, head towards the door, and put her shoes on.
all right. I'll begin researching the spell to get you home.
Okay.
Thank you.
Malia will finish shoving some meat in her face, swig of ale, pull her boots on.
Farah will stand up and dust herself off. Oh, I have been so bored in this stupid plane of existence. I can't wait to cut loose.
Oh, poor Farah.
Alright.
Hmm.
You're just gonna have to use conventional stuff, alright?
Well, I think we should try and stay out of range as
Mhm.
much as we can.
I'll hang back.
I've got a
And try
new
and stay
trick I want to try.
maneuverable.
Do you?
Oh yeah,
What is it?
you'll see.
It's like, who wants to be my special buddy?
Your special buddy? I'll be your special buddy. What?
Means getting close and personal with the basilisk.
Mally
Well-
will be your special buddy.
I can hit it in the face and you can dart it behind.
I was
yeah.
considering trying that dinosaur thing again, because that seemed effective last time.
That was a lot of fun.
Sure, you get up close and personal.
But if it turns me to stone, I will also be completely useless at that point. Probably.
Would it be cool if you? Well, I was
Pick a
gonna say,
form
couldn't
with
you
some
turn into a
speed.
bat and then be like mostly blind? But then what would help?
Bats aren't
I-
blind.
Well,
What?
what about something with speed? So that you can kind of like get out of its like eye range.
Hmm.
Just don't turn into a giant scorpion. Not this time.
Do you think we'd
But
be able to
giant
get it to come
dinosaur.
up rather than having to go down into the ground?
Well, she didn't mention it being in the ground.
Oh, I thought I felt a tremor. earlier.
That's probably because it's really big and stepping on things.
Yeah,
Definitely walking.
she mentioned that it was just wandering around town.
Marine's
its
gonna flop
walking.
back on the pillows and just start reading again.
Highly
Right.
acceptable.
Okay.
All right, Farah's gonna get up and head toward the door with you.
Yeah.
Come on, Farah, let's go have some fun.
Let's try not to
I
die.
wanna have so much fun. This is
Mar-
gonna be good.
Do you have any ranged attacks?
Sorry, who you're talking to?
Mars.
Mars. I do have my bow and arrow, but it's not the greatest thing. But I could still try to.
It
use
might be
for
worth
range.
it to hang back a bit just to keep us out of range of its gaze.
Zeno, do you have any spare magic arrows?
I have. Let's see what I have here. I have 2
I just have
plus 3
regular.
arrows. I have 4 plus 2 arrows. And I have a whole pile of silver arrows.
And you have your
Silver's-
fancy new bow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So all of my arrows are magical.
Okay, Mars, pull out 2 of your arrows.
Okay.
Oh, I
Um,
also have 3 fire arrows.
It's not magic, it probably won't work. Hold on.
Right.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
And she's going to run a finger down both of your arrows, and they are going to start to glitter slightly in the light.
Whoa.
That's not going to last terribly long, so
Gotta go fast.
gotta go
Get
fast.
to getting.
Okay.
What spell was that?
That was not a spell. That was out of character. That
Ooh.
was a sorcerer feature that they released at the beginning of the year.
Nice. That's
Ooh.
really
You
cool.
you can spend 1 point, 1 sorcery point, I believe it was, or 2 points off the top of my head. I believe it's
Yeah.
1, and it makes a weapon magical for a short period of time.
And doesn't require concentration then,
It does not,
which is awesome.
because
That's
you
fantastic.
you just pay spell points into it. So it's
Yeah.
or sorcery points.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
love
though
that.
they made sorcerers way more versatile.
Nice.
I like that.
Kelly. Survival roll to find this thing?
Yeah, go ahead, roll with advantage.
Would that be like a tracking kind of thing?
This would be a tracking thing.
That's not a 14, that's a 24.
24.
24.
All right. So as you walk outside, you will hear boom, boom,
It's right there, isn't it?
boom. One of the colossal trees above is going to start to crack as a large serrated tail slams into its trunk.
Oh no.
And it starts to... One of the bridges overhead that's 100 feet wide and 10 feet... about 20 feet wide is going to snap and swing downwards, shattering against its far tree. You're pretty sure that's the basilisk down there. It's about 150 feet ahead of you, crashing through the center of town.
But I can't quite see it yet? Or,
You
or
can
I
see
can
its
just see the
tail. You can just see its tail.
And it's 150 feet ahead.
Yes.
Okay. Can I run ahead 30 feet and shoot it?
Yes, you may. I'd like everybody to roll me an initiative roll that will start as soon as Zeno shoots.
Okay.
13.
19.
17.
Okay, so give me 1 sec, guys.
16.
I am not writing it down, so hold it.
Haha.
Oh, okay.
But I have not unrolled it, like changed my dice.
Yeah, mine's still
Anyone
chilling.
know which page the weapon stuff is on, just so I can double check?
Not off.
I'm
the
just
top of my head.
looking up the.
All right,
weapon
so
scale.
Zeno, Malia, and Tia, what'd you get?
I got 16.
17.
Okay, and Zeno, what'd you get?
19.
All right, fantastic. So you run ahead 30 feet. So basically, in front of you is a huge glade road that weaves between these immense trees with the city built on top of it, overgrown in ivy and vines. The tree in front of you has a 100-foot wide base, and you see a tail wrapped around it. This basilisk is a massive green and gold monster. And as you approach, will be able to see enough of its tail rolling around the corner that you can shoot it from behind. So go ahead and give me your attack rolls. Don't forget, you get 3 attacks on your first round if you want.
Yes. All right.
What are you using?
All right, so I'm using my magic bow.
Okay.
And I'm going to use... Okay, so there's trees around it, but there's nothing else. Like, there's no, like, canina directly beside it, right?
No, there are some up in the trees that are kind of scouting, but which you will see that there is a beagle and a what looks kind of like a pointer.
Okay, but nothing within, like, 10 feet of where I'm shooting?
No.
Okay, cool. All right, so I'm going...
They're not getting close to this thing until they have to.
Fair enough. All right, so I'm going to throw up Hunter's Mark on it.
Okay, sounds good.
I'm going to shoot it 3 times with -5 +10 with thunderclap arrows.
So the thunderclap arrows are the alchemical arrows, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, although every arrow that I shoot with this bow is magical.
It is, okay. So go ahead and give me your attacks.
Here we go. All right, so that is going to be a 19.
That is a hit.
A 16 and a 26.
You have 2 hits.
I have 2 hits?
You have 2 hits.
Alright, so 16 didn't hit. Dang.
16 did not hit.
Alright, so...
It's like there's a number between 19 and 16 that hits this thing.
I hate it when that happens. Alright, so 2 hits. Let me just feed this into my dice roller real quick. Wow, that's not the right number. Holy mac.
Alright.
So we have...
And so your damage with this bow goes according to the according to their magical arrows, but you only do the necrotic damage when you use the bow's innate magical arrows, correct?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so there's no additional
Nice.
necrotic on this stuff.
I know I built this damn bow, but it's been like 2 months since I did, so I just wanted to refresh.
Oh, can you give me a DC 15 Dex check real quick, actually? Sorry.
Yes, I absolutely did. Nat 20.
Okay. So in that case, you will take 6 + 1 is 7. So 3 thunder damage.
3 thunder damage? All right.
And 52 magical damage.
All right, so 52 magical damage. You are going to slam 2 arrows into its back, and you will hear as a thunderbolt roars. The echo of thunder roars across what is now a battlefield, what was once an elven throughway, and you will hear the resulting roar of a giant basilisk that sounds, oh god, it sounds like basically a Godzilla scream, which I'm not going to attempt tonight because I have to have a voice this weekend.
Fair enough.
But just that roars across everything around here, and that does not count as charm. Great. All right, now we're going to enter normal initiative. Xeno, you acted before combat, so you are... Well, actually, I guess you started the combat there, so... yeah, I guess if you started the initiative...
Okay. Quick note. Is there anywhere, like, directly around me that has a good, like, dark cover? Yeah, totally. It's night here, and night has fallen over the land while you were inside of the tent, and nearby there are quite a number of alcoves and broken archways that you can hide under that are shady enough. Okay, cool. Yeah, because I want to just chill out and be invisible.
Sounds good. Malia, what do you do?
How far away is it from us?
It is, its tail is 100 feet from you right now on the other side of an immense tree.
Okay. I will move up then.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to decide if I can actually do anything.
Yeah, sorry for engaging in super long range to start with.
Hit Xeno for that.
After.
After, always after.
Accurate.
Accurate.
The Well, if it's 100 feet... Shit, I can't really do anything.
Any of your spells?
Well, I can't do what I wanted to do.
Mm.
Spiritual weapon doesn't have the range, and I don't have the speed. I'm a dwarf. So, so what I had planned on doing is no longer capable of happening.
Mm.
Sorry,
So,
I got excited.
I guess I will attempt guiding bolt then.
Okay. So you'll be rolling with disadvantage because of range.
Why?
What's the range on guiding bolt?
120 feet.
Oh, is it? Okay, sorry. I thought it was only 60. Then
No, that's
don't-
spiritual weapon. That's what I was just saying.
Okay, so go ahead and make me the roll then.
There are so many attacks with so many different ranges.
It's
It's
true.
kind of irritating, but
Okay.
It is what it is.
it is what it is.
Um,
I can be irritated by it though.
Oh yeah, totally.
23 to hit.
Yeah, it's probably a hit. All right, your guiding bolt coalesces in your hand and strikes out across the battlefield, illuminating the darkened roadway and striking this basilisk from behind.
1 sec.
Now that gives the next attack advantage on it, right?
It does, which is Tia.
Yeah. I'm not that fast.
They didn't
either.
wait for me to give damage, guys.
Yeah.
Like, let
Oh!
me actually hit it first.
Yeah, I wasn't suggesting anyone go. I was just announcing the turn order.
Yeah.
So that's 14 damage, and yes, it'll have advantage. Because it glitters with a mystical light.
All right, it glitters
fancy.
with the glitter of the damned, and it is 100 feet in front of you, Tia.
Yeah. It's 100 feet. My
100
movement is 30 something.
I think it's 30.
Yeah, my speed is 30. I could shift into something and move, but that wouldn't be super helpful. This is not super useful. I can shoot it with a crossbow, but it wouldn't be magical, so it wouldn't do anything probably. So, backup plan. Yeah. I'll. That's not it either. Okay, let's go with this spell and move, and I guess dash forward.
Okay.
But try and stay. So I'm gonna go with. Where is it? Guard. I think I still have one more of these. Guardian of Nature. Yes, I do.
Oh, that shapeshifts you up?
This is the one that I can either go with the Primal Beast for attacking, or I can go with the Great Tree, which gives me extra hit points and Constitution saving throws made with advantage.
Sounds good. Your spell functions as normal.
Yay! So if and it's a
What-
bonus action. So that's a bonus action. So I can do the full dash while casting it. So I
Yeah,
can
you
do a full
use,
dash
you can use
action.
your action to move 60 feet forward.
Yeah, sweet. Okay, concentration up to a minute, and this one. So, yeah, sweet. I'm barky. I have
All right.
leaves sprouting from hair.
Rushing forward, you assume the form of the great tree, a dryad's flesh overlapping your own, barky skin shielding you from damage, and twigs sprouting from your hair, eager to sup on the moon and sunlight. As you rush forward, you are going to position yourself about 40 feet from the basilisk, and it is Farah's turn. Farah is going to attempt magic. Let's see what I roll. Hey, it functions as normal.
Yay!
Nice. All right, Farah is going to cast Hold Monster
Nice.
and blow her heightened spell meta magic to give the monster disadvantage. The monster, I have to double check one thing real quick, the exact wording here. The spell takes for the briefest second. You see the monster stiffen in place. And then the spell shatters as the basilisk shakes off the paralysis condition.
That one would have had advantage on it, too, wouldn't it have?
No, this isn't an attack.
Oh,
This is just a spell. It basically paralyzes, but apparently this basilisk is not vulnerable to paralysis.
That's dumb. Why would it do that?
Because that's...
It hates us personally.
It hates you personally. Mars, you're up.
Right. So I want to dart in another direction so that I'm on level with someone else. So it's Tia's moved forward, and who else?
Tia has moved forward. Malia is basically about 100. Did you do your move as well, Tia or Malia? Okay.
No.
So Malia
I
is at
switched to different. I figured it would move towards us, so.
Malia is at 100 feet. Tia is at 40 feet, and you are roughly around 100 feet next to Farah.
Okay, so I'm going to use like all my action to kind of catch up to where Tia is, but be opposite from her. To
So
see if
you
we can...
you actually don't have to. So because you have your cunning action, you can spend that to just double your move. So you'd be running 60 feet and still get your action.
Oh, sweet. So
That's what rogues are great for.
Yeah, because I'm trying to put myself in the best position to
You're
be able
basically
to do
trying
sneak
to like
attack.
kind of fishbone.
Mm-hmm.
So alternatively, what you can do is move forward and use your bonus action to aim, and then you can sneak attack with your bow at this range.
Yeah, that's what I would like to do, just so then if I can get the hit, then it'll be worth more than just a single d6.
Sure. You can move 30 feet forward and aim.
Okay.
So you won't be moving the full 60. So you're
Okay.
going to be at 70 feet from it.
All right.
But if you hit with this attack, which you have advantage on, because it is the next... Oh, actually, you know what? Double your movement and move to that other place by Tia, because you have advantage on this because of Malia anyway.
Why
So
do I
you
have
don't-
advantage?
Because
Guiding bolt.
Guiding bolt.
Guiding bolt.
It's now really easy to spot this thing. So if you move the distance, you get sneak attack anyway because you have advantage.
So let's
So
try
I'll just
that.
basically put Tia here and you here. We're not using Roll20 tonight because this would have taken me hours and hours to build this city, and I didn't have time. Also, you guys might not have any other encounters. You might. Okay, so give me your give me your attack.
Ooh, so I rolled a 23.
That is definitely a hit.
And that was the better of the two there. So then my total damage is 6, 10, 15, 19, 21 with one of the magic arrows piercing.
And that's with your sneak attack?
And that's with my sneak attack, yeah.
Okay. All right. Did you add your dexterity mod to your damage as well?
No. And so the dex mod is...
So that's 25 then, right?
Yeah, because that should be a 4. Yeah.
Damn. You guys have hit this thing pretty hard. Your arrow strikes it from behind, the magical energy around it coalescing and striking through its plated green and gold armor. It's going to roar again, and you can see that blood is drenching it from the 3 arrows lodged in its frame, as well as the guiding bolt that now fizzles off of it, but did burn a shock into it. It is going to turn around and is going to charge at Tia. Tia, it's going to run right up to you, and as it does, it is going to do a sweeping wave attack with its breath. I need Zeno. Are you on par with everybody else?
I am like 120 feet away.
120, and it ran up to Tia. So Tia, you are at 40 feet. So yeah, it is outside of your range. I want everybody else, because it's going to blow this cone in a wide arc, as is its wont. You need you to make me a Constitution saving throw.
Sweet, I make that with advantage right now because of my
Nice.
spell. Also, I will just let you know that right now, the ground around me, within 15 feet, is difficult terrain for my enemies, if that becomes relevant at all.
Sounds good.
Probably not
Just
right.
for your enemies, or will it also affect
Enemies
us?
only. It specifies enemies.
Okay. All right, so Farah gets an unnatural 20, so she's okay.
Okay, so are all of us making the?
All of you, yeah.
Okay, cool.
So I made that roll with advantage because of my spell.
Mhm.
Both of the d20s rolled 5s.
No.
Oh, that's rough.
Both
It
of
just
them.
wasn't meant to be.
I mean, what does that end up being with my con save?
Don't worry about it. It's not enough.
I got an unnatural 20.
You're outside of its range.
Oh, that's right.
That would have been a 10,
But that's good.
not enough.
Okay.
Hack.
19.
19. You are fine.
Phew.
I like that you don't take half on this. That's kind of nice. Mars, what'd you get?
Sorry, which was the roll? I didn't hear it.
It was a con save.
Oh
God.
11.
So Tia's dead.
11. That's a fail.
Yep.
So it breathes a gout of poison at all of you. Let me roll that one. There we go. So that is 4, 6, 10, 22, 34. Mars and Tia, you both take 38 points of poison damage.
Oh, not as bad as I thought.
Okay.
No, it's not as bad as you thought. And as it rushes at you, so it did not start its turn within 30 feet of you, but what it will do is attempt 2 bite attacks on you, Tia. Do I have any disadvantage on attacks against you?
No. I just had 10 temporary hit points, and it's difficult terrain around me.
Okay.
Is that a area effect or something that I can use uncanny dodge?
Uncanny dodge, I believe, is for dex saves only.
I
Starting
think that's
at
right.
fifth level, you can attack. You can see hits you with an attack. You can use your reaction to have the attacks damage against you.
Yes, this is an area of effect, so this does not count for that.
Oh, okay. Cool.
However, I'm just checking your uncanny dodge. So
Yeah.
that was uncanny dodge. Your evasion, when you're subjected with a dex saving throw, you can take only half damage. You take none. So this is just unfortunate. This is a cloud, so it does not work in that way.
I thought I would
Tia,
just ask.
it is going to roar, and it's going to bite you twice. I need to roll damage on you. May my dice look favorably upon you. Front line.
Both 15 or above.
Yes, 30 and 27.
Crying.
So the first bite is going to deal 10, 14, 22 points of piercing damage.
Yikes.
And the second is going to deal 25 points of piercing damage.
Yikes.
And I need you to make me 2 Constitution saving throws.
Oh, I need to make sure that. Okay, sorry. I just realized I need to make my my save for my concentration check. Yeah, what's that?
Not yet, because you need to make the con save first.
No, I needed to make it for the first attack because I realized when you hit me with the cloud poison, I needed to make it then because it was a damage attack. Okay, so that one succeeds. So then it's for each of those sources of damage, the 22 I need to check as well. Because that will impact, and then because that'll impact whether or not I make that final Constitution check with advantage or not.
All right.
Yeah. No, that saves. Okay. That saves. Okay. So now I'm doing this final Constitution check
Twice. Once for each bite.
Okay. Constitution check. That is 17.
Okay.
And 18. No, 21. Sorry, 21.
Okay. The first one is going to fail, and as it bites you, you're going to feel poison coursing through your veins. You'll take an additional 10 points of poison damage.
I need to do another concentration. Okay.
The second bite is not venomous enough to overwhelm your defenses. Now we're starting at the beginning of the round again. The basilisk has had its turn, and it is Xeno's turn.
All right. Well, seeing as I have friends that are super close, I will refrain from thunderclap arrows this time and just use normal magical arrows. Well, I have 2+3 arrows. I'm gonna use those.
Sure.
I'm gonna use those with my -5+10.
Okay.
Here we go.
Please wreck it, please.
All right. So we have to hit a 19 and a 25.
Those are both hits.
Fantastic. Rolling damage now.
All right. As it roars and breathes a gout of green gaseous poison out at you, you can see that dangling from its uvula is a bright purple shard. You're getting a nice close look at this, Tia, so I thought I'd show you.
All right. So total damage on that guy is 60. Yeah, 60 because I don't add my extra +1 on that. So 60 damage.
60 damage, and you remember that you don't add your bonus from the bow, you add your bonus from the arrow because it's higher?
Yeah,
Okay.
and this one didn't have the yeah.
Okay, cool. Just because whenever you're dealing with pluses, you just take the higher one, you don't combine them.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. 2 shots are going to slam into its front as it rears up over Tia. One of them is going to punch through the back of its throat and out its cheek, snapping a bit of its jawbone, and the other is going to take it in its left eye, disgorging it from its socket and spilling the viscous fluid down its bloody cheek.
Oh, gross!
All right, Malia, you are up again. The creature is looming over Tia, having bit her twice.
But it's only about 60 feet from me then.
You ran, so it is.
Because she ran up to 40 feet of it. So if it moved up to her, that means it moved 40 feet forward at least.
Yes, so it is 60 feet from you.
Excellent.
Nice.
Okay. I am going to cast Spiritual Weapon as my bonus action and attack with it. Because, let's see. I can't get close enough to use my Dwarven Thrower. So.
I mean, you can use it at this range, you'll just be using disadvantage.
Okay, I might as well.
Yeah,
because you just have to move up to 40 feet from it to use it with at distance, I believe. It's either 40 or 60.
Let
You
me have a look at what it was. Actually, long range is 60.
Oh, okay, good.
So,
Thank you for writing
actually,
that down.
I will do that
love
then.
when players write things down. It makes my life so much easier.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a weapon stats, so.
Yeah, I know.
Or a weird one that's not really in the book.
I know, right? Or if it is in the book, which is it's in the book that's at Mike's house and has been for like 8 months.
Okay,
I
so.
need that.
I'll bring it by next time I come by.
Yeah, that's okay. You just plot your damn game.
Yeah.
27 for Spiritual Weapon
For a hit?
to hit,
All right, that is a hit.
and 18 on the Dwarven Thrower.
18 is a hit.
Sweet!
Nice.
I rolled an 8. This is great.
Okay, give it to me.
Okay, so Spiritual Weapon is... 19 damage on the Spiritual Weapon. So that is
Ooh.
force damage, I believe.
Okay. All right, so the spiritual weapon is going to slam into the side of its head, snapping one of its fangs off as it stumbles forward toward Tia.
And,
It's wavering, punch drunk in the air as your dwarven hammer flies forward.
23 damage, 6 of which is thunder.
All right, and to borrow a phrase from another stream, how do you want to do it?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yikes.
I think it hits
So-
with a spiritual weapon,
It is stumbling, punch drunk, looming over Tia, kind of.
and then I want the dwarven thrower to hit it right in the snout, and then the thunder damage to go out from there.
Okay. All right. So the thunder damage is it's going to hit it right in the snout, caving in the front of its muzzle, and then the thunder is going to erupt out of the hammer, creating this Tesla coil dome of light and just little jolts and motes of electricity. Tia, can you make me a dexterity save?
Which I had
Yeah.
cast spiritual weapon at 4th level.
Okay.
To do that, so.
There's
Dexterity
an
save.
Dexterity save, please.
Is that one? That is not one that's impacted by my current spell. So I roll a. Should I use my inspiration?
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Or
do
you know
that.
what? No. You know, yeah, roll first. I think we're fine.
Okay.
Kelly.
Probably shouldn't have said that because that's gonna be another 12.
12's fine.
Oh, okay, cool.
This is just a cosmetic effect. 10 was your difficulty on this. So the basilisk's fangs are the size of great swords, and as the hammer explodes in, these great swords are going to fling around the battlefield, many of them impaling right in front of your feet. And you are going to be almost covered with a gout of electrified blood. as this thing erupts into so much broken, scaly leather. As it collapses to the ground in front of you, you're really glad that she blew up the head, because otherwise it would have collapsed mouth first on top of you.
I would have had been like right primed to grab the thing though.
That's true. So Tia, directly in front of you, laying in the corpse's destroyed mouth, you see a glittering purple gem.
Tia climbs into its mouth.
All right,
Farrah, do you have
climb-
mage hand?
She just goes and grabs it.
Yeah, I do.
Uh-huh.
All right. So stepping forward, you are going to grab the Shard of Nirn, and as you do, you are going to make me a charisma save.
Great.
I believe this is the first time that anyone except for Mars has touched one.
Oh,
Yep.
good.
No, I did.
Did you?
Nat 20, so that's
Yeah.
a 22.
All right. Oh, that's true.
Your
You did
luck
on
has
top of the
definitely
worm.
changed.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Mars will like pull out hers and be like, Gib.
Tia
as-
climbing into mouth. Grab gem. Nat 20.
As you pick it up, you are suddenly going to get a quick flash. You are going to be spectrally hovering around this area, and you'll see, for one, a quick flash of what this place was like back hundreds, thousands of years ago. The thriving environment here, and you'll watch as it is destroyed, torn to pieces by time, neglect, and the abandonment of the elvish race. And then you'll be standing next to Marine as she descends into the bowels of that building that her tent is camped in. And next to the fountain there, buried under the rubble, you see her and her Kaneen unearth a tremendous stain on the very lodestone of the ground. This is the place, she says. This is where we'll have our conversation. And then she goes and sets up her camp. This seems to be years ago. And with that, you'll come back to the present.
Gib.
Gem.
The battlefield is quiet suddenly, and you'll hear a couple of Kaneen howl and holler down from the upper trees. Whoop whoop!
Beep boop.
That was weird. Do I feel anything from this thing, or is it just kind of like, it's just a rock?
It feels magical, but that's about it. It has that slight tingle touch to it, like it's humming slightly, but it's also kind of pulling away from your fingers a bit, like it's magnetized to something over by Mars. In fact, it's magnetized
Yeah,
toward Mars.
Mars, just,
Gib.
where's, just attach it to the thing, please. Please, I don't want this anymore. Ugh.
You don't even have to sit and like talk that much. She's already like there being like, Gib.
There's a sudden noise as Mars, you hold it up to the gem of collected shards, and it will be absorbed into its mass. The broken chunk sealing perfectly as if it were never shattered.
Yes.
You know that's a bit unnerving, right?
Creepy's her aesthetic. Farrah says.
I know. I just want to make sure that she knows that she's doing it. As long as she knows she's doing it.
Do you know you're doing it? You know you're doing it.
She knows she's, yeah.
At this point, Xeno walks up, looks down at Mars, and says, "You know, you can try asking politely for once." And then wanders over to the basilisk.
All right, and with that, we're going to take a quick break. Hello, and welcome back to Generic Fantasy Setting number 17735, Season 2, Episode 34, My Life in Ruins. Thanks for staying with us on that prolonged break. If you're watching this later, what prolonged break? Mike's computer exploded, but that's okay. We have bubblegum and scotch tape. So
Yeah.
And super
All right.
glue.
And super glue. All right.
Yep, so here we are.
So as you stand there in the husk of the destroyed or in the presence of the destroyed giant basilisk, its body will start to slowly contort and dissolve back into the size of a normal basilisk. Whatever you just did, Mike, made you much more red.
I did nothing.
Did you close a window?
Did you close a window that was shining bright light on you from your screen?
Oh, that'll do it.
Yeah,
Yep.
so can you open that thing up again? That was nice.
um, Can I check the head of the basilisk and see if there's any way that I could collect some of its venom?
Some of its venom will be difficult, but yes, you may. You can make me a sleight of hand roll. Actually, you know what? This will be Are you proficient in poisoners kits? I know you have, or did you get one? Are you proficient in it?
I'm pretty sure. Let me flip.
I don't think you naturally are. But what you can do is you can give me a dexterity check.
Dex, yeah.
Yep, with disadvantage because it's pretty destroyed. And Mike, I can get you a light if you need one.
I'm proficient with thieves' tools.
Thieves' tools. Okay, so that doesn't count the poisoners, but don't worry, you've got another feat coming up soon.
So do a dex.
Do a dex with disadvantage because this thing is spread across the battlefield like so much green poisonous marmalade.
Yuck.
My descriptions feel like they're on point tonight.
They're great.
I agree.
Yeah, you know, sometimes it's kind of mediocre. This time it's on fire. On fleek.
Fire.
So my lowest of the two is a 17.
Okay, so you will be able to find... Give me one sec. So let's have this run down. You're going to be able to find 2 vials worth of basilisk venom.
Nice. I'm making a small collection.
All right. Anything else that you were doing while you were here at this corpse? Tia?
Tia was just going to sit down on the ground very, 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 very injured with her 17 hit points left and just like kind of flop.
Can I try to extract one of its eyes?
No, they are gone.
Oh.
Xeno punctured one of them, and the other one got exploded when its head exploded.
Oh, it got exploded. Okay.
Yeah.
Boom.
You can get one of its teeth.
Okay. How big is a tooth? It's like I'm thinking of like the one from like Harry Potter was like that because he could use it like a...
The teeth are about the size of daggers going onto short swords.
Sweet.
Yeah. So out of it's helping a little bit. So you can collect, if you're going around looking for teeth, you can collect 2 that are that size. I keep rolling
Nice.
2s for you.
Cool. Yeah. I do that.
All right. So Tia, you take a nice long breath. Malia and Xeno, what do you do?
Is there anything else on this thing that looks remotely valuable?
Go ahead and give me a survival roll.
Nat 20?
Nat 20. You think that you could probably, even with it shrunk, this is a basilisk that was living in the Feywild, so it has a naturally kind of iridescent golden green scale. You could probably skin it pretty easily and sell it at a market.
Gold green basilisk skin.
I'm gonna look around, and it was only Tia that got hurt, I believe.
Only Tia that got... Tia and Mars. Mars got poisoned.
Okay.
But Tia got fucked.
Really screwed up. Okay. I will wander over to Tia then first.
He was lying on the ground still, making unhappy
Okay, so is
noises.
this an ongoing... They're poisoned as a condition?
Poison damage.
Okay. Because that changes what I have to do with... Okay. I'll kind of poke Tia a bit, look, and cure wounds.
Yay.
Okay, one sec. Let me decide on what I'm casting this at. How battered are you?
I have 17 hit points out of 102.
Oh, very battered. Okay.
Yeah. She got mulched, and I had 10 temporary hit points too, so like it almost was 7 out of 102.
Yeah, that's nutty.
This thing
Okay,
hit you
I'm gonna
hard.
cast Cure Wounds at 4th level.
Okay. Appreciated.
Okay, well, you are the happy recipient of my fantastic rolling.
Yay.
So that's 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. And do I add spell mod? Yes. 30. 35.
Yay.
All right.
Oof.
And
As
I'm
you
out
were
of 4th
healing that,
levels.
you are going to hear hooting and hollering in the distance. Actually, yipping and howling in the distance. And also, as the ground begins to shake and rock slightly beneath you, around from the side of the basilisk, something moves with incredible speed. I need all of you that are kind of hanging around Tia, and I'm assuming you all kind of congealed up, to make me a dexterity save, please.
Has it been if it's been a full minute, my spell ends too.
It has been a full minute, yeah.
22.
16.
22, 16.
16.
Dexterity save. Oh, that's on the ground.
Still
Florida dice.
counts.
Does it? Because I can't read it. It was a 5.
Well, roll it on the table.
Floor
It's
dice
now-
are automatically 20.
No. That's
No.
a 10 total.
10 total? Okay. In
Do I
that
undo
case,
all the healing I just got?
some of it, yes.
Oh.
And Malia, what'd you get?
16.
16. And all right. So you start to feel a little better, Tia, and maybe you even get up and stretch, feel yourself out. And that's about the point you start hearing this yipping and hollering and running. And as that happens, a huge shape darts from behind you. This is about the size of an incredibly tall man or an ogre, and you are going to get smucked in the back of the head by furry hind legs as a rabbit that is 8 feet tall is going to leap over your head.
Mega Vincent.
You're going to take 5 points of damage as you are knocked to the ground, and this tremendous hair is going to leap over you, accidentally clipping you with its feet, is going to hit the ground and start running with 4 canine in fast pursuit behind, 2 of them mounting arrows into their bows and crossbows, 1 of them chasing with a long javelin, barking at each other in Elvish.
Can I make a shot?
You can give me an initiative roll to see if you beat them.
16.
16? All right.
Yeah, you know what? I haven't dropped Spiritual Weapon yet.
What is... Go ahead and make the roll then, Nelly.
My dex mod is... Oh no, we go off initiative mod, right?
It's the same thing. Well, we go off initiative mod if yours is higher than that, yes.
My initiative mod is 6.
Okay. And Malia, what'd you
18.
get? 18? Okay, Malia goes first.
No, 19 I got.
No, Malia goes first.
Okay.
Mega Vincent. That really...
Nat 20!
Now, are you
First
kidding
one of the
me?
night! First one of the night!
Okay, go ahead and
I've
roll me
gotten
damage.
that one already today!
Thank you. Welcome to my life.
This is a very balanced night of rolling for me.
Mm-hmm.
20 damage.
20
no,
damage?
25.
Oof.
I forgot I had a modifier
Okay.
that I had.
All right, what are you doing? Are you just picking up the bunnies and bopping them on the head? Like, what are we doing here?
Little rabbit
I will direct the spiritual hammer to hit it in the back of the head, I guess. Knock it
Okay.
out.
There will be a sound of... And the rabbit is going to fall down dead.
Oh. I mean, I guess that's what they were aiming to do anyways, so.
It's gonna make a lot of stew.
Okay, and with that,
Look at all that. That would make a whole cloak.
There is going to be the sound of 2 more of these things rushing out from behind. It looks like the Kaneen were trying to flush out a warren. 2 more of these beasts are going to leap into the clearing, which is going to be a dex save off of everyone. Tia, you have advantage because you are prone right now.
I have advantage because I'm prone for a dex save?
Yeah, because you're basically not able to be stepped on.
Oh, okay. Because I'm like, for dex, I can't move that fast here.
Nope, it's basically because they're trying to leap over you guys.
28.
28, so make... Alright.
13.
13, okay. Mars, Malia?
Natural 20.
Natural 20. Mars?
Mine was a 17.
17.
I saved them all for right now.
All of you are going to duck out of the way as the last 2 rabbits are going to leap into the clearing. Zeno, you can go ahead and take an attack. And...
I'm gonna make a shot on each.
Okay.
Alright, here we go. Alright, so that's gonna be... that's gonna be a... 31 to hit.
Okay, it's a surprising miss. You fought the god of rabbits. No, that's a hit.
And 21 to hit.
Okay, those are 2 hits. Go ahead and roll me damage.
Alright, so... One of them is gonna take... 9 damage. One is gonna take 7 damage.
9 and 7. All right, so 2 arrows are going to pump into the necks of both of these rabbits as they rush forward. They are both hurt, but not dead. And as they rush forward bleeding, and they let out that primal rabbit scream that I'm not even going to attempt, guys. I apologize. I need my voice this weekend, which always makes me want to try it anyway, but, so, that thing. As they rush forward, Tia and Mars, are either you going to do anything or just watch?
Just watch.
Tia just wants to be on the ground for now. It's been friendly to her.
Okay, the ground is... Okay.
Alia is looking forward to this.
The Kaneen are going to... rushing in a lithe, small-headed whippet. Dressed in kind of thick scale. A scale mail is going to launch a javelin into the back of one of these rabbits' heads, and it is going to drop like a stone. Having already been wounded, it just basically enhances the hole that was already there. And the last 2 Kaneen are going to fire their arrows into the other wounded one, dropping the 3 giant rabbits.
Nuts.
They are going to yip and dance around the bodies for a moment, enjoying their kills. And are going to turn and speak to you in Elvish.
Yay!
So it is going to be definitely... there is a small beagle with a number of knotted bows in its hair, kind of around the ears, and a lot of makeup around its eyes.
That would be weird in fur.
Nice shot. It's mostly just the eyelashes. Do beagles have eyelashes? This one does.
Well, there we go.
Nice shot.
What did it say?
Nice shot.
Ah, thank you.
We're going to be eating good tonight.
Look
And
at
for
it.
days to come, hopefully.
Bunnies taste good. Although it's hard to
I'll
get
look
one
over it,
big
go to
enough to...
Look to Zeno and be like, rabbit stew.
Yeah, although it's hard to find rabbits with enough meat on them. Usually there's like nothing on the things.
Like, those will make like a good 3 cloaks.
Yeah.
All in one piece too. That's amazing.
Yeah, I could use a new cloak. Seeing as mine got eaten in the temple.
They could be good cloaks, the beagle says in kind of broken, accented common. You did help us kill one.
Are there any more?
There are many big thing nearby.
I'm gonna go up and pull my 2 arrows out of the other 2. Yeah.
We are take
You
hair.
can just tell him. No, it's okay.
Friend Elf, we are going to be taking the rabbits back to the main campsite in order to skin them and procure the flesh for a sumptuous stew. If you wish to have one of the cloaks for hair, that sounds like a fair exchange for your aid in capturing them, although of course we could have done it ourselves given another moment. We were enjoying the hunt too much to actually focus down on the inevitable climax of the activity.
That's we were all excited after taking down that basilisk.
I see. Ooh.
We were still up on adrenaline, so.
Oh, we heard something dying. In fact, its roar startled these out of the bush and made our hunt a little quicker than we would have hoped for. But still, excellent work here. I'm assuming that you are, in fact, guests of Lady Marine.
Yes.
Nice to meet you. My name is Liari.
Zeno.
Nice to meet you.
Zeno, this is Malia, Mars, Tia, and Farah.
Tia waves from the ground.
Bellinor, Varel, Elisar, and that up there, monitoring from a distance, you'll see that there is a small corgi dressed in all sorts of flowing robes on one of the tree bridges.
Oh my god, is it a wizard corgi?
It's a wizard corgi. It has the hat.
That's
and that's
fantastic.
Kylu.
I will kind of
Kylu?
salute with my hammer while the spiritual one still floats behind me.
That's
Oh.
cute.
Bellinor, Elisor,
Bellinor,
Kylu.
Varel, Elisar, and Kylu.
Elisar.
Elisar.
Sounds
And
like a
sorry,
weird magical spell.
I missed one of those again.
Varel.
Varel. Verily.
So, Bellinor is a sheepdog who is not wearing much aside from some flowing robes that makes you think that it might be, or that she might be a monk. Basically is dressed very similarly in like flowing clothing to how you remember Jason. Varel is a pointer who is dressed in fairly kind of a little bit of robes as well. Very casual clothing with a number of pouches and things that denote magic use, but is also armed with a sling. Elisar is of course the whippet who is wearing lots of like scale armor, and Kylu is the cardigan corgi. Cardigan corgi, it's the difference. It's the black and white one, the cow corgis. And Liari here is a beagle dressed in kind of like secondhand silks finery, kind of looking that kind of traveling minstrel look. And you can see that she has a harp strapped to her back. If you would excuse us, she says in Elvish, we are going to move the food back so that it doesn't spoil and that we can bleed it properly before it begins to go rancid. Time passes kind of strangely here. Time is of the essence.
Fair enough.
Is essence made of time?
Oh, it speaks Elven. Hello, my dear. I rarely get a chance to do this. Hold on.
Tia is very confused because she knows like this much Elven. Whatever Zeno's been teaching her.
Me? Liari. She says to you in Orc. Me? Big strong. Strong sexy. How do?
Oh, it's good.
Wow.
Your pants. Give
Good.
them to me. Did it work? What? What's so funny about that? I said it's a pleasure to meet you. Oh no! Oh no! Oh, I'm so embarrassed.
In
Is that what
common,
that
she'll
means?
go, they asked me for my pants.
They are nice pants.
That's
Isn't
fair.
that the typical orcish greeting, though?
Give me your pants.
I need your clothes, your boots, and your motorcycle. That's the typical orcish greeting, is the Terminator greeting.
In some areas, yes,
and then
probably.
farewell is like, I'll be back.
Yeah, god damn it. Amy, can you quickly clip this? I need this.
Absolutely. It's
Terminator is canon now.
yeah.
The Orcinator.
Yo.
Okay, I mean, let's just point out for a moment here that like we made like Kratos like one of the legendary orc warriors, and like the orcs are badass. I love them in this game. Yeah.
Nice. All right, cool. Done. I've written that down in my notes as well. All right, and with that, the Kneen are going to take the rabbits back to camp and begin dressing them or undressing them, I suppose it is, and preparing their meat for you, leaving you out in the center square. You're alone again, and night falls around you. And then day rises.
Immediately.
And then night falls.
No.
And then day rises. Can I get all of you to quickly give me a nature roll?
Nature?
19.
nature. 19? Okay. I'm looking for low on this, so.
15.
Oh. Nature? That's an 11.
11?
Where'd my
That's,
dice go?
22? 11's actually what I was looking for on this.
Ooh.
Within about 2 minutes, the sun and stars trade places in a rapid dance as if they were figure skaters on ice, swirling around. It's almost like the sky is strobing before you. And by your count, a dozen days pass.
Can I heal to full?
I mean, you are exempt from the time passing.
No.
It didn't affect us before.
Did not
Yeah,
affect
I
you.
know.
But just basically, like, time advances.
So, with how time is doing weird stuff here, and we've got this time difference that Marine's been encountering, we could have been gone for a year. We need
Or
to
more.
get back somehow.
Well,
Mhm.
let's start by going back to camp. I'm hungry.
Yeah.
All right. As you're headed back to camp, Zeno, walking by, you will see there is a doorway off to the right. Now, it's not night anymore. It's early dawn. You can hear the sound of animals and insects buzzing around. But you feel a cold breeze blowing at you, kind of pushing you toward that door. It looks like a building that's long since collapsed, but this door and the spiraling staircase that descends into the bowels of the earth here are fortified. The main dome behind it wasn't successful, but it looks like this passage might be.
You guys continue on. I'll meet you back there.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'll be good. I'm fine. Everything is fine.
Is he being weird again?
No, I'm not being weird again.
You're always weird.
He's always weird.
He's always
Didn't Marine indicate though that he should do any trials alone?
Yeah.
fine.
So he might as well check them out. Don't
True.
die.
I
but-
will do my darndest to not.
I will
die.
hand him a greater healing potion to put in his pack.
It's dangerous to go alone.
Take this. I give you nothing. High five.
You have
Thanks,
my
Mara.
hopes and praise.
Thanks, Mars. Hi, Chris. Zeno returns with a crisp high five.
But in the meantime, while he's off doing that,
Are we gonna eat?
I had a weird vision when I touched the gem, okay? The shard. So,
Oh yeah, that's normal.
Why don't we head back then and discuss it?
Sorry, Mars.
In
Please.
the tent that has the spells against the wild hunt.
yes. So about that, the tent seems to be on top of something.
Okay.
Is it?
As in,
actually?
Marine, like, built it, put it there.
Like
well, we
several
gotta
years
talk to
ago?
Marine about it then.
So anyway, yeah, we should go check that out because that's kind of weird. So have fun in your
Okay.
trials. Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Fine.
All right.
That reminds me that there's some comic or movie or something where it's like, have fun conquering the world.
Here,
or
have
something
fun
like that.
storming the castle. That's Princess
Ah,
Bride. That was our first
that's the
date.
one.
Oh yeah,
Right.
have fun storming the castle.
Yeah, I'm trying to think, where the hell is this from?
Our first date.
That is
When you stormed a castle.
I did not that night. It was a few weeks later.
Oh.
From a siege tower to bear. And my trebuchet. Nothing seduces a woman quite like a trebuchet.
That I mean
That's true. I literally had one in my backyard for months and months.
That's pretty baller.
That's
We
what
used
your
to be
bro-
playing soccer balls into the nearby waterway for the dog to go chase.
Nice.
She'd race down the bank into the water and then back up onto the lawn, and we'd fling it again with a trebuchet.
Okay, that's
This is the type of
best way
family that
to
she
play
has.
catch with the dog.
They're definitely
Trevor dog.
weirdos.
Your urban treb.
Yeah. Dad always joked that if the neighbors pissed us off, it would be something else getting flung.
Poop.
Yeah.
Are we talking about poop?
That's an urban.
I wasn't
trend.
gonna flat out say it.
You know,
Urban treb.
this channel is pro poop.
That's true.
It's also pro treb apparently.
It's definitely pro treb.
All
Okay,
about
so
that treble.
We're not pro poop. We're accepting of poop over there. All right.
You-
That's it.
You can poop. You're
you-
allowed to.
Everybody does it according to this
Everybody.
award-winning book I read. All right. So guess what? We're here to roleplay. Oh. So let's roleplay.
Okay.
As you head back, Zeno, you will descend, or you'll approach this stone archway that beneath it, half of the wall is collapsed in here, actually, as you get close, and the spiral staircase will take a little bit of navigation. You'll have to squat down and crawl through, but your dark vision allows you to see that it looks sturdy enough.
Okay.
Do you approach?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me just switch some music up then. Okay. That will be... As you approach, you squat down and slide beneath the fallen stonework. The old stones here are brilliant, beautiful marble. And as you crouch down, you hear the sound of a host of crows taking flight. And yet, as you look back, there are no birds in the air outside of the front door. But in front of you, you notice that the ground is dusted with old, decayed black feathers. As you continue down the spiraling stairwell, you feel yourself descend deep. 60, 80 steps, 100 steps. And then, when you think that this stairwell can corkscrew no longer, it ends. Suddenly and simply. In a pale, flat, handleless door that appears in a swooping circular doorway before you. This large circle is about 12 feet in diameter and... Yes, not circumference, diameter. I don't know why I always get that mixed up. It's like my thing.
It happens.
I know. And in front of it is a pale bit of stone that looks like marble, but it doesn't have any veins to it. It's just a flat sheaf of stone.
And this is beside the door or on the door?
This is apparently... It looks like a door, but there's no handle, no lock, anything.
Insight?
Sure.
Unnatural 20.
A natural 20. It's probably mystical of some type. Maybe touch it.
I will touch it.
As you touch it, the door will shimmer with a crimson light for a moment that will feel uncomfortably warm against your hand, even through gloves. And then the red light will give way to blue. Ocean blue will flood this white doorway, and you will see the shape of a circle form inside of the circle of the door over this blue field. Two writhing draconic shapes of opposite color will surge into the circle, chasing each other in a yin-yang, with a ship flying your merchant colors in the center of them. Your house's sigil, your flag of Avakara. The ship will burn away, but the swirling dragons and the circle remain. The door will shimmer for a moment and vanish. Directly in front of you is a large chamber. It's about 40 feet by 40 feet. It, like the doorway, is round. It's tiered stonework that leads down on all sides and then up again in a center dais that's about 10 feet wide. Circles inside of circles. On the dais is a glowing, veined orb surrounded by roots. In fact, this room is crisscrossed with roots that have broken in from the trees above. No light enters this room save for the blue light that spills out of that gem, that orb, in the center of the room. It glows dully, but pulses slightly as you look at it. You get the sense with your insight roll that it knows that you're here.
I'm gonna go up and check it out.
All right. As you do, can you make me a perception roll?
Yes, I can. 26.
26. One moment. Cool. Now, as you approach, this is the only light in the room. As your body moves across, you notice that the way that this light is hitting you, it's casting your shadow on several different walls. This room has no corners to speak of. And you correctly perceive that that doesn't make any sense. And yet your shadow graces 3 separate walls. 4 separate walls. 4 lengths of wall, that is.
That's weird.
The room's temperature drops, and you can see your breath begin to coalesce in front of you. How close do you get to the dais?
I'll go right up to it.
Sulutai Dorsha. Right wing. It pulses at you, speaking in ancient Elven, more akin to Sylvan than anything that you speak. But you can pick out the sense of it. It says your family name, but in the original Elvish. Come.
Okay.
What do you do?
I'm gonna go pick it up.
Okay. The orb is set into the central dais that's rising up, kind of almost like an altar around here. to give you kind of a sense of what it looks like, it's a podium that rises up from the center. The stairs go down and then up again on all sides, and this rises about 4 feet out of it. Very similar to, say, have you ever seen the inside of the TARDIS?
No.
That's too bad, because it kind of has that the central console type of look, but much smaller. So I'm trying to think what else this would look like for you. It basically looks like the room is surrounding a giant hourglass. And this is the bottom half of the hourglass with nothing connecting the middle.
Oh, okay.
So you can definitely try to touch it, pull it out.
Yeah, I'll touch it. I'll go up and touch it.
Can you do me a favor and make me a charisma save? What'd you roll? You rolled a 1?
I rolled a nat 1.
Nat 1. You are going to touch it and suddenly feel a pulse of magic and fire burn through your mind, and you are going to feel a second hand clutch yours and hold it there. The orb is cold. Cold as anything you have ever touched. Cold as the coldest night of your life. Cold as the coldest betrayal you have ever felt. And you are going to see a pale hand, so white that it looks bloodless, wrapped in raven feathers, with claws as long as a liar's tongue, sticking out from its pale fingertips. They dig into your hand, holding it on to the orb, and as you glance up, you see a woman clad in raven feathers, staring at you with bright red eyes. She speaks to you without language. In your mind's eye, you hear the words perfectly. Right wing. The air is full of the sound of crows and ravens taking flight. It has been a long time since a right wing or any of your people have come here, Gloom Stalker. Once long ago, your people came to me and asked me for the power to hunt those that fly and those that ignite the night with fire. Do you still wish for my blessing?
Yes.
Like your ancestors before you, like those who have bled thousands before you, the power will be yours if you swear yourself as the blade of the Carrion Queen.
I was hoping this was the Carrion Queen. I've been waiting for her for quite a while now.
A while?
Yeah.
Will you be my hungry knife?
Yes.
What's your alignment?
Mostly I was just like chaotic good.
You're a chaotic good?
Yeah.
You're also slightly out of focus right now.
Oh, really? Oh, I have the Zoom chat up to provide the white light, so I haven't noticed.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, let me see if I can fix that real quick.
All right. It's a
Come on.
little better.
Come on, you can do it. My camera hates me every time. There we go.
It just looks like you're giving the audience a high five.
Good job, audience. All right, so if you swear yourself there, you are going to definitely, you do not have to change your alignment because I think that's kind of rough, but you're going to definitely feel a pull toward neutrality.
Okay.
You, in theory, can change your alignment if you want to, or begin to start working at it, but you're going to definitely be pulled more toward true neutral or chaotic neutral.
Okay. And for like true neutral or like chaotic neutral, like what's the
True neutrality doesn't pick sides. It basically tries to maintain a balance, whereas chaotic neutral kind of follows your whims and does do what you feel like. It's also the worst alignment, in my opinion, because a lot of people use it to justify doing whatever they want.
Yeah, that's yeah. I mean, to an extent, that makes sense. But yeah, I could see how that could definitely be abused.
You could also basically your alignment's going to be pulled in. Technically, could also be pulled more towards neutral good, but it's going to be pulled a little bit kind of in one direction. It's kind of trying to pull you down toward lawful evil.
Oh, okay.
So just anything that moves you a step from that top corner down toward the bottom left corner.
Sounds good. Okay.
So you are going to swear that, and as you do, she is going to vanish. Just a single raven feather is going to fall onto the altar on top of your hand. And at that moment, you are going to feel a cold spectral hand grip you by the wrist. And as you look to the right, you are going to see Sylphina Rightwing, your mother, standing next to you. And she speaks to you in the Carrion Queen's voice. How can you stand to be around that thing? Another hand grasps you from the left, flipping your wrist over. It tears open the hem of your shirt, at the wrist, at the sleeve, and you see that it is your grandfather. You heard it yourself, child. Its people, its creatures, killed the gods. Your bare forearm of your left hand is extended upward. And you will see the shape of your sister? Maybe not. It's been so long. It could be your sister, it could be your great-grandmother, but the steely eyes of another of your blood stands before you.
Oh, man.
Heed my words. One day, you will slay that dragon. This is a gaze I place upon you. And with that, you are going to feel searing pain on your left forearm as a symbol is going to be burned into the meat of that forearm in a brilliant blue of a circle and two draconic shapes circling each other. And in the center is not a merchant ship, but a barbed arrow pointing down toward your wrist. A mark you've seen once before on the pommel of the sword that you carry with you. Your grandfather's blade. It burns excruciatingly, and I want you to make me a Constitution save.
And then you coming right up. Constitution, that was a save?
Yeah.
Okay. 14.
14. It hurts, and you are actually going to just have a brief moment where the world goes dark as you just absorb the pain. And when you open your eyes, you're standing alone in this room. The blue brand on your forearm is going to glow and then recede, leaving the very faintest lines behind. It almost looks like... Have you ever seen a white tattoo or an ultraviolet tattoo?
Yes.
It basically looks like that. You can only see it in certain light.
Okay. So what did she say? This is the what that I place upon you?
Gaius.
Gaius.
You can make me an Arcana roll to see if you know what that word means. And there are many ways to pronounce that, guys. I picked the most vanilla white bread version. It's also pronounced geese or gas. because
honk.
Celtic languages are rough.
22.
22. It is basically a fate binding.
Oh, that's lovely.
So you are fate bound to one day kill a dragon that you are friends with.
Oh no!
Fate can be circumvented and Gaius's can be broken, but usually at great cost.
Okay.
Look up the Legends of Cuchulainn if you want to hear some great things about that.
The Legends of Cuchulainn?
Yep, Cuchulainn, or however you pronounce
Is
it. There,
like Guhalen or something?
there are a lot of I'm pronouncing it as I've read it, but basically an Irish myth of a great hero who was sworn to never harm dogs, and he was. It's basically
means dog.
Sorry? Yeah. So he
Good
became
inside.
the dog after he killed, and he was fed dog without his knowledge, or with his knowledge, because he was also sworn to always eat what he was fed. And he just either died immediately or lost all of his powers. It's a very, very proto-myth. It's great.
And how do you spell that name?
No.
Here, I'll link it to you.
Yeah,
Don't worry.
link it.
Okay,
Link it to him.
okay, yeah, because
But,
my Google is not.
Not strong.
Yeah.
Okay, so with that, what do? You're standing in this empty room. The light in this orb goes out. Shadow overtakes you. You feel actually a little unnerved by the shadow.
Okay. Well, that's a thing that just happened. Let's get some lunch.
As you say that, you are going to feel your body vibrate slightly.
Oh, lovely.
And suddenly you're standing on the stairwell. You glanced over at it looking to leave, and suddenly the mist of shadow parts for you, and you step onto the stairwell.
Okay.
Overhead, you are going to hear some rocking and grinding, and then suddenly a smashing sound as a bit of the roof gives way. Not on top of you, but as you proceed up the stairwell, you'll see that the rock that was pressed against the opening of this chamber has fallen down. Barely enough room for a fox or cat to pass now, just shafts of light. These stones look like they weigh hundreds of pounds.
Oh.
You're trapped.
Investigation?
Sure, give me an investigation check.
19.
19. You search where the passageway has been blocked off, and these stones are hundreds of pounds. It would take forever to mine through this, even with a pick. There's no way out.
Arcana roll?
You can make me an insight roll.
Oh, insight roll?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. 15.
15. You suddenly... The entire tunnel here is encased in darkness. Outside is so bright. Almost. There's another building, about 30 feet ahead of you. It's mostly collapsed, but you see a bit of shade in its doorway. The sun is coming up behind it and casting a deep shadow onto the ground. Instinctively, you feel something rise up inside of you. Do you accept it or reject it? It's a cold chill that starts to wrap around your body.
I'll accept it.
You're staring. Suddenly, there's a moment of darkness as shadow passes in front of your eyes. And then you're staring across the glen at the door of a collapsed building. You realize that you're in the other building's doorway that you were looking at a moment ago. Mike, Zeno has unlocked his level 10 special ability that I'm giving each of you a special ability. Every time you, I believe it's short rest. You know what? No, it's a long rest per day. Yeah, so it's a long rest. Every long rest, you can use Shadow Step a number of times equal to your Wisdom modifier.
Shadow Step number
Meaning,
equal to
it
Wisdom.
takes a bonus action and allows you to move from any shadow to any other shadow within, I believe, 30 feet.
Bonus action, Shadow.
Gloomstalker ability unlocked.
Shadow to shadow within 30 feet.
Shadow to shadow within 30 feet, up to a number of times equal to your wisdom. I'll double check to make sure that those are the rules that I like for this and that I don't need to upgrade it anymore. But as I promised, each of you is getting a special ability at level 10 to mark your halfway to punching out gods level.
Okay, well that's really cool. That's really neat. Okay. Well,
At least you got something out of this.
that's super baller. I'm gonna use that.
I know.
And for Carrion Queen, what do can I roll an Arcana check to see what I know about her?
You can roll a religion check.
A
to see what
religion
you know.
check. Oh, that's gonna be a 18.
An 18. The Carrion Queen is a goddess of death and just general darkness that exists inside of the realm of the Shadowfell, also known as the Gloom. It is basically kind of it's the dark realm. The Carrion Queen's very much tied to Nirn, although some legends confuse the two, saying that they are the same being or that the Carrion Queen is Nirn's daughter. Their actual relationship is not known. A lot of myths kind of clump them together because they're evil chicks that wear a lot of black.
Fair enough.
She is equivalent to, say, very similar to, say, like the Raven Queen. I believe that's the name of the Raven Queen from Faerun, or to the Morrigan or Morrigu from Irish mythology.
Okay.
But she is a goddess of death and particularly battle death.
Okay.
So she's a battlefield goddess of death and like gothic clothing.
Yeah. Zeno's been interested in her since place we saw the moving castle.
Yeah, she's if you want to get a look at what she looks like, very much looks like. Did you ever play Final Fantasy VIII?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so if you
But I can look up her character.
If you Google Final Fantasy VIII sorceress, I believe, because I forget her name off the top of my head because it's been 21 years. So very much like the picture of the woman with the weird time shoulder thingy. Adia.
Okay.
Oh, in fact, here, this is legit. I'm gonna post this in the chat real quick.
In Zoom chat?
I was going to post it in the Twitch chat so everybody could see.
Oh, okay, cool.
But my computer's doing a lot right now, so... Oh no, it's doing the thing.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, she looks pretty boss. copy to clipboard. Can I post pictures in? Oh, I can't. Damn.
Oh, in Zoom chat?
Yeah, or
Yeah,
in Twitch.
not
I can't do-
easily.
So basically, if you've done that search I just told you to do, go ahead and just scroll down to 1, 2, 3, 4, to the 5th row. Actually, wait, you've got it maximized probably.
Yeah.
So if you scroll down, 2nd row, far right.
Okay.
Which I wish that I could show you, but I can't. Anyway, I'll post more of this later. Picture that with more of like a bird-shaped helmet.
Sounds good.
But yeah, no, she's total got lots of feathers.
That's fantastic.
I know. She's pretty dope, and she needs to get put on the religion page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Back at the tent. You all return and watch as the Kaneen use the main temple grounds to start cooking and stripping the rabbits. Inside, you can hear also that some of the Kaneen are playing some music, and that Lady Marine is just kind of hanging around and reading. What do you do?
So Tia's gonna try to relate as much as she can of that vision to them and be like, yeah, this weird vision looked like it was some time ago before she set up her camp here. There was like you described it as like it looked like a splotch of something, or like
Almost like a blood stain.
yeah, like a bloodstain.
But it
That's what
looks
I
like it
thought you
actually
read.
melted the ground slightly.
Mm-hmm. And she said something about this being where they would have the conversation, or she would have the conversation.
Interesting.
Conversation? I think it's conversation. Did she say it in Elvish or Common?
She said it in. She would have said it in Elvish.
So whatever. So Tia's gonna attempt to get the correct translation of that then.
Farah will. What was it exactly?
I rolled a 6 to try and remember what she said.
It kind of means talk.
Okay,
Conversation.
close enough.
It's
So
close
that'd be
enough.
like 12. Okay. Okay.
Kinda.
Ish.
Yeah, I think the word that you translated it as actually means like
Parlay.
magazine questionnaire, but yeah, okay. This is where we're going to find out if he's hot or not.
I guess. I mean, she's doing research here. She didn't really specify exactly what it was in.
Hot or notology?
Yeah. I kind of want to like take a chance to see Lady Marine, and I'll just say like, "Hey, look, I got a basilisk tooth."
All right, so if you head inside, she's just kind of lounging and reading through a scroll.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just going to go up and say that?
Yeah.
You did. Look at you.
Yeah.
That must have been quite a fight.
Yeah. No, I got one of our team members pretty hard.
Oh, is everyone all right?
I think so. We just got back. Zeno went for a bit of a walk, I suppose.
He's probably going to check out the old shrine.
Mm-hmm.
Dojo. I'm not really sure what to call it. It's kind of an old proving ground.
Mm-hmm.
Guild hall. I mean, most of the guild hall's been destroyed, but I mean, still. Here, sit with me, girl.
Okay.
And she'll like awkwardly kind of like sit.
Can I touch you?
Sure.
I'm just curious. And she runs her pale... well, she's taking her gloves off, so she runs her pale fingers down the side of your hair.
Ooh, twitchy.
Sorry. You were human before.
Mhm.
You're very warm to the touch.
Yeah, I've been told.
Does it hurt?
No.
With that, she's going to cup the side of your face.
Ow.
Sorry, something's banging outside. Because it sounds like someone was banging a rug, sorry. She cups the side of your face and leans in and whispers in your opposite ear. It's okay if you don't want to go back. People change. Never be ashamed of who you are. Sorry. You're beautiful the way that you are.
Yeah, that's been something I've been considering, actually.
I could tell by the way you spoke of it. We all bear the marks of our changes.
Did you change?
Not physically. It's been a long road. I have deep thoughts to consider.
Yeah? Like what?
Did you hear whether or not Pitt lived a good life?
I think he lived well, yes.
Did he have children?
Can I do a roll to like try to remember any of that?
You can make me a history roll, yeah.
16.
16. So you know that he sired no children and basically just waited out his life living in that settlement and kind of like protecting it until he died of old age in his, I think in his 90s. Like he lived quite a long time.
Yeah, he settled there, he sired, he grew old there, but I don't know, just hearing the stories and everything, it sounded like he was waiting. He was waiting for something to happen.
Wait, do you say that like quite loudly, or
Have you two come inside of the tent with Farah?
Tia was kind of trailing along behind, so
Okay, so you'll have entered the room right as Mars pulled away from her, being touched on the cheek like that.
Mhm.
That sounds about the right timing.
Mm.
So you probably would have heard what Mars just said. Yes.
Okay, so I just want to confirm that you said he's sired.
Yes.
Isn't that another way of saying like you had children?
yeah. But
Yes,
Kelly,
but Kelly just said he didn't.
Oh, I thought
So-
he said he did.
No. And you can say whatever you want.
Yeah, no, that's
That's
right.
right. You said that he did have.
Didn't.
I wasn't sure if you were trying to spike the ball or what, but
Because that would be
Oh
absolutely.
no, I thought you said he did, and he
No,
grew
he did-
old, and
he
like.
did not. He,
Okay.
he, as far as you can tell, he was probably celibate, but
Oh, celibate. I thought you said.
he took no
sired.
wife, he sired no children, he walked the wall. This was his duty.
Okay, so yeah, no, omit that. Yeah, no, I just said he grew old, but he.
No worries. I wasn't sure if you were doing
You-
it as
you
a
know-
Mars thing or
Yeah.
what.
Or if it
So
was
I was
a-
gonna do it
No, I thought
now.
you.
No, we
no.
didn't.
No, I just
Okay.
I misheard what Kelly said.
No worries.
So no,
Okay.
yeah, I said.
Okay, so in
but I
that
still
case, then her demeanor will not be quite as sour as it was about to be. All
I
right,
know,
good.
I see the change. I was like, oh dear.
Yeah, no, basically that he seemed like he wanted more. He was waiting, but like he lived out the rest of his life kind of to himself.
That does make a difference, actually. Thank you. When I'm done here, I suppose he's buried there? As far as you know?
Can I make a history roll to see if I know
Yeah.
that?
Did we
Mars,
see?
with the history roll you made before, you think he is, yeah.
Did we
'Cause there was a-
see any like grave site?
There were a lot of monuments to him.
There were monuments.
I mean,
For
if
sure.
it's a settlement he protected and stayed at, he probably would have been buried there by them.
Probably.
But it's a whole other group of people that might have different ways of dealing with the after effects of death. I can't recall seeing any like burial sites. But he's
Then I'll
definitely immortalized afterward. They looked up to him.
Well, when I'm done here, I'll have to go and apologize for my mistake. It was careless of me. I'll have to make sure that I find that spell.
So, I actually have a question for you.
Of course, you can have some more stew.
That was not my question.
Yes. Anyways, come on here.
You gain an inspiration, Mars. Unless you haven't spent it, in which case lose an inspiration and then regain it.
Yeah.
What led you to choose this place in particular to set up your camp? Your tent?
Make me a persuasion roll.
A persuasion?
And if there was a certain time for you to spend inspiration,
now would be the time.
Yeah, okay. So I don't think I've actually spent it because I was going to, and then you said don't do it.
yeah,
So I think I still have
because I didn't want you to waste on getting kicked by a rabbit.
Yeah.
In which case, 14?
14?
I only have +1 to persuasion.
Okay. This place has significant architectural, historical, and religious value to the elves.
Huh.
Why?
I just,
This was once a temple. The Moon Temple. Connected directly, eventually, to what you would see back on the continent called the Moon Fort.
do I know anything about the Moon Fort?
The Moon Fort is an ancient elven fortress that kind of is to the southwest of Madaket.
So I probably don't know much.
Not terribly much. They're pretty old. I'll let you do a history roll disadvantage if you want. Oh. My neck just cracked in a big way.
Jealous.
God, I could run for hours in this chair. This is great.
History roll with disadvantage?
Yeah.
17.
Damn. There are legends that state that the Moon Forts were structures that connected the Feywild, or wherever the elves came from, depending on the legend, back to their home realm, and that they were invasion ports.
Ooh.
The Moon Forts, the Moon Fort and other elven fortresses are actually held in high regard because apparently they issue forth impossible numbers of enemies. If you kill an elf, another will just exit the fort. Like they're cursed.
Wait.
Well, that's not creepy.
As in, like, they can just raise a new army because time seems weird here?
Maybe. But you think that it's probably also maybe a misattribution, such as how Spartans wore red so you couldn't see them bleed.
Oh, okay.
If you have a finite space and an infinite amount or a much larger amount of space coming from a different place,
Fair.
then it becomes like cartoon physics, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Interesting. It's just that when I retrieved the, well, did we explain that there was a shard we thought there was a shard in the basilisk? I don't think we did. We just said we had to go deal with it.
She probably could have inferred it. She's very smart, and we just told her the whole
She is.
story right before that. And I mean, we inferred it
She
from what
inferred
Mars
it.
said.
Good. Okay. So cool. I was hoping that would be the case. Yeah, well, I retrieved the shard from the basilisk, and it showed me something. Well, it showed me you before you set up your camp here. There was this weird, blood splotch, kind of?
You'll see her features darken slightly as you say that. Kind of like someone who's caught in a lie, or maybe not a lie, but when you tell an employee that you've received a call from another job they've applied at without being informed of it first, that type of thing, right? There's not deception, but it's just that you have a card that she wasn't expecting. I'd like you to make that persuasion roll again with advantage.
Okay. Not great. That's going to be a 12.
With advantage?
Yeah, I rolled a 4 and a 10. Or an 11. A 4 and an 11. I only get +1 to persuasion.
Yes, there is research that I was doing here, directly related to the, as you call it, the stain.
It seems like a blood stain of some sort that seemed to have melted some of the ground.
Yes, a creature died here quite a long time ago. It's what did the damage to the dome. My goal is to commune with it and seek guidance.
The dome is very large, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow, what sort of creature was that? Vale will play the yokel role to the hilt.
Alright, go ahead and make me a persuasion roll.
Yeah! Good.
I am also going to spend my inspiration because I'm
Are
not
you going to
used
spend
it
your
yet.
inspiration? Okay.
And Mars,
'Cause I am not good at persuasion.
Like watching the situation, watching like body language and cues and stuff like that.
Alright, what'd you get?
19.
19?
So she does the whole, what sort of creature was that?
What has acidic, melting blood?
Just one moment. I gotta pop on the song for this.
Oh no. Song change.
We're all gonna die.
Suddenly Marines end. Oh crap. Everybody dies.
Oh. Because then the Canine will not like us.
I know.
Oh god.
I'm sorry.
Wait, what?
What?
This was a temple of Trallion, the god of elves and secrets.
Ah.
It was their home, and they retreated to it during the war. My research points that they were confronted here by Kellen Zarnak, the great red dragon, and slain.
Oh, we've come across
We've heard of
that
him.
before.
Yes.
We probably would have told her about that as well, because that was a fairly big plot point. At least in our personal story. It's not every day you run across a temple to a goddess that got slain by a red dragon.
The same in the Temple of Ishar. Yes. I hadn't had a chance to visit the Temple of Ishar.
Maybe don't.
Don't think you can get in anymore. I think it kind of collapsed a bit.
Yeah.
Also,
It was
How much
pretty
did you-
destroyed in the
Beholders.
first place.
How much did you talk about that place?
I don't know how much I doubt we would
if
have
she's
gone into great
interested
detail.
now, like, it depends on, I think we would have mentioned it.
That you would have gone to the Temple of Ishar, and that you found that
Yeah, so if she questions, then we'd go into more detail.
she wouldn't have at the time, but
Okay.
she knew she had time later too. How much do you know about gods?
I mean,
Depends
they
on the
do this
god.
sort of crap to you.
Gods are immortal, infallible or unkillable. Usually. The only thing that can kill a god, a divine being, is another divine being.
Seems
Or
to make sense.
the instrument of a divine being.
Hmm.
This is why those imbued with the powers by the divine are particularly dangerous. You, and you, she says, gesturing at Malia and Mars, technically, both have a component of the divine in you as a cleric and as a tiefling chosen by Nairn.
Hmm.
When a god dies, it leaves behind a god is infinite divine might, or near infinite divine might, wrapped in a persona, a personality, a guise, a framework. When the ego is slain, the power remains.
I guess it has to go
Dormant.
somewhere.
It can. Gods can trade and exchange power.
Hmm.
However, in these cases, sometimes the power escapes. The great worm that you saw did not always, he did not want to risk the dangers of consuming the essence, so it lingered. I imagine it did in the Temple of Ishar as well. We call these things God-founds in my line of research. Wellsprings of divine energy that arise from time to time at a very difficult to calculate interval. The calculation for this took me 9 years. Soon, the divine energy that vanished when Trallion was killed will reappear again here. I wish to commune with the god of elves and see what may be done about the wild hunt.
You said something about a discussion talk? My Elven is
I wish to
still...
discuss what can be done about the wild hunt with Trallion's echo. Using some very difficult magic, I wish to try to recoalesce the entity that once was, speak to the echo of the power. Barring that, I wish to use the energy present here to stave off the curse and perhaps break the curse of the wild hunt. It won't be easy. It will be my life's work to allow my people to return to the Feywild and allow us to dream again.
So this is all about the... Not all about, but something to do with why you guys don't sleep?
We abandoned the world that was gifted to us. We shirked our responsibilities, and in return, we shall never return, lest it be in chains. Bound by the greatest of elves who now ride the sky and hunt of us while we sleep, the one connection we can never break to the Feywild. Except we have broken it, haven't we? We've staved it off. We teach our children to trance and meditate, to refresh our minds without touching home. But I think it's polluted our people. I think that our cruelty and expansionism has made us lesser. I wish to return us to our nobility.
I suppose.
I hope that what I can draw from the God Fount will allow me to do that. Without the wild hunt, we can be free to return and experience our lives again. Should we choose? There. That's the truth of it. Does anyone have anything they want to ask out of character?
Sort of. There's definitely a curiosity here of like, how, like, is it possible that the, I guess the echo of this god could have already like dissipated of sorts, or like, I guess is wondering, Tia's trying to decide if she should ask whether or not the hunt is potentially like a manifestation of the god upset that they left or something. She's kind of, or like the dragon, the fight. I don't know.
Can I get everyone actually, while you're thinking about this, if nobody has any questions, you can make me an insight roll, and I'll give you a hint at something you could ask that could be relevant.
Ooh, yeah, I'll do that.
Ooh, that was a 22.
22?
20 unnatural.
Okay.
21.
21, and a Farah exists with a 10.
Hey.
But with insight, that's like a 14. So she's talking about this, and she's saying that she was saying a story earlier. She said when the great worm attacked, he knew the pitfalls and perils of supping on the divine, and that gods trade and take divine energies. What do you remember from the Temple of Ishar?
That the goddess of beauty was corrupted and turned into a beholder?
Yeah.
Sort of. What do you remember happened as soon as you entered that room?
The room
Wasn't-
where the egg was?
Yeah. The room where the beholder showed up and the other party was already. With that
It's been so
roll,
long, I can't remember.
during the fight, one of them, their bard Sawyer, had a strange jar marked with arcane runes. There was a flare of magical energy that they drew into it and sealed it. An eruption, a fountain.
That
With
could
that
have been
insight
godly
roll.
energy.
It felt fairly divine at the time, but then Ishara, the beholder, showed up immediately afterwards. It was easy to assume that the two were connected. Maybe they were. This might be additional questions that you want to ask.
Well, okay, so was the beholder actually Ishara, or did the beholder eat Ishara? Or something.
Farah's gonna look around.
Or was it just infused with her essence?
Or something to corrupt it. I don't know.
You were
God.
passed out with dragon bane poison
Yes.
or whatever.
I was
This was-
having a great time. It was great. It was wonderful. Would do it again. 10 out of 10.
How about no?
No, you're not
I
gonna do
don't
that
want to have
again.
to go and like get a freaking cure again.
Good. I was kidding.
Good.
It was really scary.
I will ask about. So, could they have been capturing this godly essence or whatnot? Are they working with Nern? Could they give Nern the thing and then she would go be like, oh, all god essence sort of power thing?
Yeah.
That made a lot of sense.
No, I
No.
got what you were going for.
But that's
I-
essentially what Mally's going to get across. Christine, on the other hand, is tired and doesn't remember this stuff very well.
Potentially. One of the reasons that we sealed Nirn in the first place was our discovery of the God Founts. And the potential for divine beings to wait for the opportunity, because we use the term fountain. Geyser would also be potentially more accurate. The eruptions are at random intervals. They appear and disappear. If you're not at the right place at the right time, it's like an eclipse, but in time. The divine energy spread across the cosmos and the chronology of the universe.
Does that have anything to do with why the time here is so messed up?
Oh no, that's just the Feywild.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it just does that. It's always been like that. It's nature's little trick.
So, I guess so. Nirn couldn't have been sealed that well, because if Wanderlust is working on her behalf, essentially, they must have been contacted somehow. They had a tiefling.
Well, who set them after the eye?
think
I
that
mean,
might be
they had
something
it-
I'll need to find out.
I mean, they had a tiefling on the team, though. A Nirn touched.
Oh.
Was she a tiefling before all of this?
Not that we knew of, unless she had some sort of disguise magic or disguising ability to make herself look human.
Potentially, then. You should all be very careful.
Which would mean a lot more is going on than we realized. Okay. Shit.
Yeah,
You may be
Essentially kicked it off by getting Mars to steal that gem, but they knew it was there, and they seem to be working on towards something for Nirn.
Yeah, because they hired her to bring them there, right?
To be
Yeah.
their guide.
So they obviously already knew it was there.
But if you got turned into a tiefling after all that, that would be a convenient way for them to have the other one stop having to pretend, I guess.
They were prepared, right? Farah says. For
Yeah.
Timidius and I guess me by accident. They had
Yeah.
dragon nettle ready.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They spiked his incense,
Yeah.
They knew his habits.
Mm-hmm.
which means that whatever's down there, they knew it was there.
Mm-hmm.
And they know enough about. I mean, I guess people do know about dragons, but
Yeah, but this sounds like
seemed
they've
more.
been planning this
Yeah.
well in advance.
Whatever they're doing, Marine says, be very careful. A normal person has an infinitesimally small chance at being able to handle or consume the power of the divine. Our bodies just aren't made for it.
So, and Tia will glance over at Mars and be like, what about that kind of situation? Does that not make them into a vessel of sorts that could contain it?
Perhaps.
Hmm.
I think that was
I-
implied.
Hmm.
At that moment, you're going to hear the front drapes rustle over and the sound of two pairs of boots being sloughed off. And Zeno is going to walk into the tent. How do you look, Zeno? Are you pale? Tired?
He probably looks like he just got hit by a truck.
Oof.
Yeah, you mean like after the fight, like he was all stoked and everything, and he was like in a really good mood and everything, and now he probably just looks kind of like numb, and yeah, overall I'd say like he got hit by a truck.
Mood.
Mood.
Whoa, what happened to you? You look like you got run over by a herd of minotaurs.
Mhm.
I mean, things happened.
Things happened.
Is there any
Very
shadow in the
descriptive.
tent?
Yeah, there's tons of shadow. It's firelight and ever burning torches casting shadows.
I mean, things happened, and it was definitely interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna teleport to one of the other.
You're gonna shadow step between two shadows.
Yeah.
Okay, he's going to back up into one of the shadowy corners of this tent room and appear out of the one catty-cornered from it.
I can do that.
Nice.
Neat.
So cool.
Which, that's pretty cool.
I knew you were shady, AF, Farah says.
Yeah.
Oh, Farah, no need to throw shade.
I'm
I'm gonna go to bed.
As you so they laugh about that. You say you're gonna go to bed.
Yeah.
Maureen says, head down the hallway, third room on the right. It's quite large. You're more than welcome to it. There's even some pop-up beds in it.
I should also get some rest, as I say, with half hit points.
Yeah.
We'll finish this discussion in the morning and then I'll send you home. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them then.
Thank you very much.
Good night, Nothing Ventured.
Good night.
Good night, Nothing Ventured.
Zeno, you head down the hall first as everyone's finishing up their plates and glasses of wine and anything that they were enjoying during the conversation and start saying goodnight. But as you head toward that room, that third one on the right, all you can think is how much your arm hurts as those almost invisible lines once again are flaring with bright blue the moment you set eyes on Farah.
Oh, God.
And I'm gonna call game there.
Bad.
So
That's
that is the mark of the Dragon Slayer, so enjoy that.
I'm gonna have to tell Farah.
Or don't.
Or don't.
Or don't.
That's what I do.
You're called.
I just
Okay,
don't.
question kind of out of character. Like, if we ever find out about this, because we don't know about this, can you? I just don't see if there's something here. Can you? Did they was it a specific Gaius? Because I have the spell Gaius. Can I undo a Gaius with another Gaius?
You can complicate a Gaius with another Gaius, but this is a sworn promise to a divine being.
Damn.
Yeah, because it wouldn't really cancel it out.
Yeah,
enough,
so you could, like a wish spell would break this?
I guess what I could do is postpone it potentially by maybe?
Yes, and
It would be hard, but
there are the only thing you could think of with Gaius, like theoretically, if this were the modern day and you could like stop her heart or something, like if he could
might
stop
work,
her
but-
heart and then bring her back with adrenaline, that might work. But like that's not going to happen in this game, especially because you can't resurrect dragons.
Yeah, that's right. You can't.
Yeah, it's not like I spent
Unless
2
we
years
do
working on
something
this
with-
mythology.
unless we do something to convince the orphan to deal with her somehow. But anyway, that's another problem for the future.
That's another problem
But-
altogether.
but-
So how are you guys doing? Did you have fun tonight?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry for the massive lore drop. It's the last one for a while.
had fun.
If you want to ask any questions at the beginning of next game, feel free. But depending on what you do next game, that might be the season finale.
Oh,
Oh, so close.
So be sure to rest and buy up or get your hit points back. You might need them.
Oh shit.
So with that, I gotta say, it's been fun so far. I hope you guys had a good time watching as well as playing. And I told you I planned these things a long time in advance.
we know.
That
we
was
know. We
only
believe you.
the only problem is that with long form storytelling, it's easy to forget, which is why I warned you before game. Pull out your notes and be ready.
Would be
so
great if I had my notes.
I'll drop it off next time I see you.
Or if I'd ever taken notes.
You should take notes. Always take notes. Does anybody have any questions out of character, just like so I can reframe the scene? By the way, you can also go back and rewatch that episode now if you want a memory of it. Because that episode is on YouTube right now.
Yay! Very exciting.
So that is the final Ishar episode. I believe it's the Tears of Ishar episode.
I think so, yes.
But I promise everything from that scene that you might want to remember while you're sleeping is in that episode. So
Good.
Well, I might try and watch it then when I'm getting ready for streaming for Extra Life.
for Extra Life.
So-
Extra Life, what's that?
Well, Extra Life has this awesome tabletop gaming appreciation weekend coming up
When's that?
this weekend.
What? No.
And Extra Life is a DIY fundraising platform for where you game and you fundraise for sick kids. And it
What?
is super cool.
I hate it when
And
kids
you
are
guys should
sick.
all check it out because we're playing 6 games across
That-
2 days.
That's more than the
different
usual
stuff.
one.
And you can fundraise and donate money to us.
With
and
3
it
different
all goes
DMs.
to the BC Children's Hospital.
Yeah, we don't get any
Yay.
money from this.
Mm.
But seriously, if you're watching this at a later date, Extra Life is a fantastic charity. It operates year round, and guess what? If you like tabletop games, and you don't even have to broadcast your games like we do, you can still donate to Extra Life. You can do an Extra Life charity event yourself, where you can raise some money, maybe get some cool like swag items that they give you if you opt into one of their membership plans. Raise money yourself. Like, we'll support you. Like, we'll advertise. We'll do a cross thing. It'll be great. Just support kids. They need it more than ever.
I mean, if you're only really watch D&D stuff, come check it out on the weekend because we'll have D&D, we'll
Yep.
have Dungeon World, we'll have Changeling, we'll have Hunter, we'll have Powered by the Apocalypse games, like a whole bunch of different games so you can get these nice little snippets in little contained stories so you can kind of get an idea of what it's about and maybe if you like it.
Yep. And
Yeah.
if you're watching this later on YouTube and August 22nd and 23rd have already passed, don't worry. I'm going to cut these episodes and upload them to Dork Tales as well. So there's a good chance you'll be seeing those episodes before you see this episode if you're watching on YouTube.
And
Through that.
the other awesome part is if you miss the 22nd, 23rd, Extra Life main game day is November 7th.
And we always do that.
And
Normally
we
do
will
it.
be doing that one.
Yep, we always do. We normally do a 25-hour stream, but we're going to adjust that a bit because we're doing it over Zoom, and I'll just fall asleep.
Yeah. And if,
well, but-
I don't know, maybe we'll see how this model goes this weekend. Maybe we'll just
And
text them.
it would be weird to do 25 hours in a room alone instead of in a room with all your friends. Eating
I don't know, I do
snacks.
it regularly.
That's true.
Yeah,
All
well,
right.
you're a weirdo, Amy.
I did that last
This
year.
girl likes her sleep.
It's true, you did. All right, so on the note that Amy's a weirdo, thank you so much for watching Generic Fantasy Setting. We'll see you next Wednesday, and hopefully this weekend. Have a fantastic night. Our next game is Werewolf the Forsaken on Friday, August 21st.
First,
Yes.
yes.
This Friday. So hopefully we'll see you soon. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
And...